Welcome one and all back here to the China DPC as we continue with today's Division 1 action. Let's get it out of the way. I'm sure y'all are noticing that there are some differences, something a little bit odd about what's happening right now. We've had to swap out production teams because there is incurring violence that's still happening within Ukraine, and our production team that's there, that side right now, is in a little bit of a pickle. So we are just covering for them and hoping that they remain safe and sound. But regrettably, the show must still go on. So we still have to continue with today's Dota action. So I'm here today, joined by B-Cop and Black once more. And gentlemen, we saw some pretty exciting games happen earlier today. Let's just get right into it. B-Cop, who's going to be winning? EHOME or Team Aster here in this upcoming matchup?
Aster. Sure. That's what I got.
Oh my God. Black, you got something different for me, or are you also going to be going on with this Team Aster hype train right now?
10 seconds remaining.
Less of the hype train, more of the disappointment train in EHOME. Aster as well.
All right, let's see if y'all gentlemen are right, as we now do have a draft of Dota going on for ourselves. So let's get into some of these heroes here. On the side of Aster, of course, we were anticipating that they're going to be doing well. They have Tiny Razor as their opening duo, but I'm very happy, gentlemen. First pick, Warlock. I feel this hero should be very much higher in the priority. I feel like it's actually first pick material. How do you feel about this hero, Black, overall? And do you think it's actually worth picking this early in the draft?
I actually completely agree with you. I think Warlock, especially now in the sustain meta, is very, very strong. And they also had first pick on EHOME, which is also the night pick, because Aster first picked it like all the time. Whenever they could get their hands on it, they did it. So yeah, it's definitely a super strong hero. Like if Lanham picks a hero a lot, usually it is pretty good. Like he's a very smart guy.
Lanham knows exactly what he's doing. B-Cop, how do you feel about the Tiny Razor on the other side? Personally, I've been falling off the Razor bandwagon for the most part. I don't feel like this hero is as strong as it used to be. It doesn't occupy the same niches it could in prior times. Do you like it overall? And do you think it's actually useful for Team Aster to go for this early? Given that they do have several Razor specialist players, is it something that they should keep relying on for their victories?
I think it's all right. I think it's found itself in a couple of bad matchups recently. I think a lot of teams are starting to figure out how to play against it. But what I do enjoy is the tiny puck. Everybody picks this tiny with the hopes that puck gets left through. And, well, here we are in the first game that it feels like it has been left through with that tiny, which is shocking. Like, they went Grimstroke, Bloodseeker, Ench. I feel like those bans could have been better, truthfully, if Puck was one of them.
If Puck was one of them. But it isn't. Puck is still going to remain in the game itself. Who is it that keeps telling us that Puck is the best hero ever? It's Ricky, right? Who is really all in on this Puck hype train, allowing it to dominate from the mid lane, create space for the team overall. Something that we've seen being utilized by Ori in the past before. But personally, I do like the Puck with Tiny, but I'm not so sure I like it that much with Razor, especially when the enemy team has so many different ways of breaking up these team fights here, Black. They've got themselves a Beastmaster now. You still have Warlock for the direct combo break. And you have some spell steal usage here coming out of the Rubik now as well for EHOME.
I actually do think, that's a good Treant pick though. I think I still favor EHOME quite a bit. Like their laning phase is going to be absolutely massive. They have very strong tower push as well. Of course, they picked Treant to kind of have a way against that Beastmaster tower push, but it's really not enough. We see every time Beastmaster Helm of the Overlord is online, Treant can't be protected too well. That being said though, Puck, Treant, they do offer a ton of team fight and also very good ways for Razor to keep heroes in place, so Razor can just run in with his BKB and deal a whole lot of damage. And their last pick carry, you know, should also be very easy to set up because obviously they do have their last pick.
Yeah. They have the available last pick for themselves, getting this Treant Protector. I'm actually curious, boys, why didn't we see this hero pretty much at all today? We saw games with Nature's Prophet, even especially in that RNG Vici series with one game with Nature's Prophet, one game with Lycan, 2 games with heavy push potential. Why no Treants under those circumstances, given how good he's been at preventing that from happening? And this game obviously is going to be so useful against the Beastmaster as well.
I think we're seeing teams try something a little bit different in terms of what they want in the 5-position heal meta, right? Like we saw Winter Wyvern, which worked against the Dawnbreaker. We're seeing Warlock a lot. I think just different heroes that can heal have been picked up, and I think it's worked out for those drafts. Here for
10 seconds remaining.
Aster, though, Treant does seem like the right choice.
Seconds
Granted,
remaining.
Winter Wyvern's also banned, so was the Ench. So these healers are gone already.
Yeah, I'm just looking at what they really need to round out the lineup. Because Pangolier, Warlock, Rubik, even Beastmaster too, they have quite a lot of damage already. So the last pick, they have a lot of freedom, to be entirely honest. Medusa looks pretty strong. Just something that can sort of frontline for them. And also just deal a little bit of spread damage. When you have Warlock, usually spread damage is the way to go. So yeah, Medusa comes to mind. Gyrocopter is not really in meta, so that's probably not going to happen. Spectre is very strong, which can be picked. It's pretty good against Razor, not bad against Puck also.
I could see Spectre coming in. Although you did mention that you're not really a fan of what people have been doing on the spec with the Blade Mail. Doesn't feel like the kind of game you'd want to pick
Yeah.
up that item anyway, so doubt we'll see it. Like, I have this feeling I've literally not seen a single Chinese Spectre not pick up the Blade Mail in some capacity until today. Like, today was the first game, and I was shocked when he did it. And didn't go well at the end there, unfortunately. So we'll see if they can make it up the difference down the line. This last pick, B-Cup, what do you want to see here? PA being banned out and PL as well from EHOME, so they're afraid of what Monet might bring to the table in the carry role. They've already covered some of the better heroes in their draft. You know, we've got the Zeal on the Beastmaster, this young mid Pangolier. What do you want to see in the safe lane here for our boy Shiro to win this game out?
Potentially Jug. I don't know. I like Jug when there's a decent chunk of lockdown, telekinesis, primal roar, when you've got the rolling thunder out there. I feel like it does all right. I don't know if that's what Black would say.
No, I like Jug as well. For me, it's either Jug or Medusa. I think are the two best options they have right now. Jug into the Razor is also very strong. Omni Slash, one of the best tools to deal with the Razor. Yeah, I would be down. If they pick Dusa, man, yeah, it could be a pretty rough anti-mage game though. So I don't know if they want to set them up. They do go for that Spectre. Yeah.
All right, that's what you wanted to see. The young Spec will emerge at the very end of the draft here. So she has fight potential all across the map, ways to close onto this puck, has some backup as well with the rest of the squad, and has a very good lane, of course, with the Warlock assisting her. This is not one of those Spectre games where it looks like an insta-win, though, does it? It still has a lot of work to do to look effective here for the side of EHOME B-Cup.
I don't think Spectre is really that insta-win anymore in general. Like, if your towers go down, if you lose that tier 1 early, if you're pressured early on, like, your game just gets so hard, as evident in that last Spectre game we saw. Like, I don't know. I don't know. I don't think Spectre is the end-all be-all that it used to be. At least recently we haven't really seen that.
Yeah, there's definitely answers, right? With that, Bristol back.
All right,
Hey.
boys. All
Yeah.
right, hear me out. I have a feeling that, in my opinion, Bristleback is underpicked right now. And I actually have this thing that this hero, I believe, is much stronger than we see being demonstrated in the games. That the very few games we've seen it. It hasn't been that many picks. And I legitimately feel after that change, you know how one of my metrics for how I know a hero is broken is if I'm able to just insta-pick this hero games in a row and even I'm winning MMR, then I'm like, all right, cool. This hero must have something to it. So what do we make of this? Bristleback, in this game, of course, it doesn't have the usual backup we see behind the BB in general. There's not that much heal, only a little bit from the Treant Protector, no real mana being given away either. But still, the amount of tankability that can come from this hero, Black, EHOME doesn't have that much burst damage overall to just insta-kill the Bristleback. No ways to get him to change direction, really, outside of like lifting him into an awkward place. And it's one of these heroes that can just frustrate the Spectre after you haunt into these engagements. So how do you feel about this, and especially given that this is a safe lane Bristleback for Monet?
A lot as an answer to Beastmaster, especially because Bristol is one of the only carries that can actually, once there is this Dominator on Beastmaster, still protect the tower, no problem. You have a Treant Protector there as well. Plus, there's literally 0 Silver Edge builders on EHOME's side. So they can't really build into that hard counter. Once Bristol gets the Aghanim Scepter, it is going to be a very tough game for EHOME.
B-Cup, how do you feel about this? Now that we've seen this last pick, BB on the one side, last pick Spectre for EHOME, where do you want to put your faith in for this opening game number 1?
I'll do what I did last time. Aster.
Oh.
No, I like the bristleback a lot. I think it is going to have a lot of free reign in this game.
Very smart
I
pick.
love this bristleback, and like I said, I personally feel this hero is underpicked, so there's no way I say a hero is underpicked and also go against that team. So I'm sticking with you, fam. Let's go all in on the side of Team Aster and hope that they can win out this game with this young bristleback last pick. To make sure that this can happen though, B-Cup, Black, y'all have got the mic, y'all have got the game. Take it away, bring us the hype, and I'll talk to you after the game.
We'll talk to you too.
We'll
be
talk to
around.
you too. Yeah. Hopefully. See what happens. Maybe I don't want to talk to you. We'll figure it out during the
That's
game.
Rude.
What do you mean it's rude?
Maybe you don't want to talk to him?
Yeah, take that back. I'm not rude.
Whatever. Whatever you
All
say.
right. Yeah, thank you.
Nice.
Next time at the gym, it's gonna be a little bit more difficult for you now.
Oh, no!
You did
please.
that. You brought that onto yourself, sir.
Oh, I didn't. Please. Please.
Apologize and delete your lies, dude.
There were no lies.
No. But in this game, honestly, it's gonna be pretty exciting. Like I haven't seen bristleback carry in a while, especially not one that was so free. Like that looks like a mega free bristle game if I've ever seen one.
I sense a connection.
Yeah.
Between us.
Yeah, I do agree.
All right, I'm gonna have to mute some players here. Going a bit too ham.
Yeah, they really are.
Do you like voice lines?
One.
Do you use them ever?
I use Lacoste's line a lot.
Okay. Are you like,
Yeah.
how do you use it, like in a toxic way or?
No, I just do it twice at the beginning of the game, and then I'm pretty much done.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's okay. I hate people that use lines in a toxic way. Now, what do we have here? Rubik, Beastmaster, a pretty common dual lane nowadays. You have to do double spam with the Axis and the Fate Bolt. Shouldn't really see too much action as I say that though. Beastmaster's probably just dead.
Zeal is dead.
Yeah.
Maybe not.
Unless...
No,
well,
he's
super dead.
dead. He's dead. He's super dead.
Yeah, turns out bristleback with goo and a treant hitting you, quite painful.
Very, very painful. And Piku is the one who gets it, aka Siamese cat.
AKA Pigu.
Yeah.
No. Wait, you said you're not the biggest fan of the was it you? You're not the biggest Puck fan?
No, I didn't say that. Zeal,
Or-
is Zeal just dead again?
You gotta be careful in that lane. Like, if you step up at all and you get gooed once or twice out of position, you are, yeah, in a lot of trouble.
That could have been very dangerous. They're just gonna keep going though. Like Nature's
Yeah.
Grab, top lane, viscous nasal goo.
Not
That one's-
vicious.
No, not is it? No, it's not vicious. It's viscous.
Yeah, it is.
I
But
always,
vicious would sound so much cooler.
yeah, but like, it's nasal goo. How can it really be vicious?
I mean, do you look at it? Have you seen it? How does it not look
This
vicious? Seal
combo
again.
is
Dead.
so gross. Oh my
Yeah.
god.
Is Seal dead?
Not
No.
dead. No.
Is Rubik dead? No.
Okay, Caster's Curse.
He's almost dead though.
I can't believe you do that.
Yeah. We're always right.
By the way, Spectre is 7 CS.
Yeah, it's not the greatest lane into the Razor, unfortunately. Like, all the lanes look a little... yeah, tough. If you want to be nice about it. If you don't want to be nice about it... they should be losing 2 lanes for sure. And then the mid lane is like a 50-50. But Puck has a much easier time rotating than the Pangolier does. So on paper, everything is pointing towards Aster's very strong early game. But maybe they have some outplay potential. Zeal this time maybe.
Again, let's see. He had a lot saved up in that wand. How many times are we gonna do this? Oh, Warlock. ZZQ almost going down as well.
Getting tossed in. Now that's one of those times where you wish you had the Avalanche instead. Because that would have been a sure kill otherwise. But, you know, the tree is doing a lot of work, getting the nice and Harrison anyways. But yeah, Spectre now still get 9 CS, 10!
Hey,
Rising the
double
stonks.
digits.
Honestly, this early game should be pretty uneventful in general. Like mid lane you can't really die, bot lane you can't really die. Top lane, if you're careful, you shouldn't really die, because that lift is actually a very great answer to that combo they have, right? So yeah, we're gonna have to wait for our level 6s in the mid lane, see some rotations, and then action's gonna kick off. The side
Monet
lanes though
feels
are
like he
not
just
going
has
great.
a free game.
Yeah, Monet has a free game, XXS has a free game.
Like, what do you do?
Even Ori sort of has a free game.
Yeah, I just don't see how they get anything out of this. The only one who's really having the good time is Echo on the Pangolier.
Yeah, once he's 6, he's really gotta make something happen. He's going to base pre-level 6 actually. That means he can't really... Oh no, he's not going to base. He's just taking a very deep block. Don't see that all day. CZQ, ooh, barely makes it out. Like
Again.
50 health. So now Spectre is all by herself with 17 CS.
We were
Not
just
terrible.
saying 10, so it's getting up there.
Yeah, but now she's solo.
Right. But Zeal goes down, Ori gets the kill.
What was Zeal doing there?
As
Wow.
they have the Dream Coil to use, and it's an easy kill there.
Wait, so Zeal was at the shrine, at the outpost, as an offlaner that early on. Did Trier just bully him there all the way?
Potentially,
Shiro's also
but he
gone.
shouldn't have been there, and now Shiro's gonna die to Bobica.
Yeah,
just
level
have an
3
easy time.
statically.
109 damage, like, that is insane.
Doesn't get the juke in the pit. So Piggy will also die. Finally on the board, but it's just a treant. Like your Spectre is suffering, your Beastmaster is suffering, you gotta get them into the game somehow. So Pangolier is gonna try to make a rotation top. But I see it under the ward, so. Should be pretty easy to avoid, right, Monet? His Vanguard is on the courier. Once that's delivered, he can probably bait this and they can turn it around. So with this Vanguard picked up, yeah, there's no way he's gonna die in his early game. Got that
Yeah,
done.
there's that Vanguard. Ori, he's now going up against Shiro mid. Like, his lane feels fine. He's having a great time.
Yeah, having to rotate the Spectre to the mid lane that early on leaves Pangolier without a place to really go to also. Yeah, it's a very, very tough early game.
Top lane, Zeal just getting pressured. And
There's nothing you can do against Monet now.
yeah, he doesn't even need PQ to be there.
Yeah. The only way he dies is if he dives a little bit too deep and gets like perma Pango rolled. Like 6 times. So they smoke bottom, Rubik Pango. They
They're
just
going
stop this
for
Razor.
ZZQ.
Yeah, he's
already
dead again.
dead. Question is how long
Honestly,
he keeps
Razor's really
alive for.
tanky. I don't even know if they can kill him with those 2 only. There's no Haunt yet.
Extra 58 damage. Swashbuckle in, looking for the Rolling Thunder. They've got the Fade Bolt. And they're doing some damage, but again, like you said, he's pretty tanky. They just don't have it yet. Telekinesis with the Rolling Thunder, and here comes Ori. Ori's got the Dream Coil ready. Rolling Thunder was already used, so they'll come down and swashbuckle away. Dream Coil used. They get the kill to Bobica, but this might turn into more than just that kill on the Warlock. Although I say that, and both heroes just kind of leave, as XXS didn't really have a lot of health to play with.
Yeah. They don't really have a lot of early game damage like the Puck. Yeah. It's alright, but Razor didn't have ult up, didn't have static link up, so they just have to disengage. Still though, all 3 cores looking very comfortable on the Aster side.
Yeah. Very comfortable. Monet's just gonna have an easy time.
Wow, Zeal actually went for Windlace and Boots before Dominator, so his Dominator is gonna come out really late. 12-13 minutes at this point. It's really not what you're hoping for when you're the Beastmaster. That's very late.
The stack is kind of beating him up too.
His deck is brutalizing him, yeah. He kills 1 creep and gets a neutral item. Can I get that lucky, please? Jeez.
A possessed mask.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Does he get to keep it? No.
Yeah, doesn't keep it for now. And like the differences in experience is massive. You don't even have really a lot here from Zeal. He just hit that level 6. Like he just got that. Meanwhile, Monet is about to hit level 8. He feels like he's in a great position. Bottom lane, Bobica dead to Planet.
Yeah. Echo's trying to create space for the Spectre, which is working out okay so far. Bringing him back into the game quite nicely. But yeah, like Echo's game has been really slowed down a lot because of this, of course.
You can see the differences on the net worth, like how far behind they are.
Alright, top tower getting pressured again. We started in the last series and we kind of spoke about it with Lizard for a while. That this safe lane tower is getting prioritized a lot more. Or off lane tower, rather.
Really just the tier 1s in general, and it does start with that off-lane tower. I guess it does open up the lane pretty drastically for Monet if that tower is going to go down.
Yeah, if you look at the distance from the tower to the next, it's pretty long. Also makes your triangle a lot less secure.
Yep. And
Monet
here
wants
go
to
the
steal a
stacks.
stack.
He could steal all of them if he really wanted to. And that's exactly what he's going to try and do. Ori's here to protect this, so it's not really like EHOME can come over and contest and feel comfortable about that. Swashbuckle. Monet did take a decent amount of damage. He needs to be a little bit careful. The axes go out. He's about half health. They've got themselves the Fatal Bonds, and maybe he's in too far. Primal Roar. Avalanche doesn't do anything to stop them. They got the kill on Monet. It looks like they might take out Bobica. They've got that shield crash. They have Swashbuckle in a second, and they do take out 2. I'm shocked that Aster kind of let that happen. They did have, I believe, Dreamcoil ready to go, and I guess XXS felt the need to stay bottom.
Yeah, that's the only problem with the Razor offlane. You really want to farm a lot until you get your BKB, and then you become a very strong hero. But until then, you don't really offer what like a Beastmaster would offer, right? You don't have that roar. You don't have any way to really help your team too much in the early game. So yeah, much overstepped their boundaries there on the Team Aster side, and they get punished quite nicely. Blade Mail again on the Spectre. Man, I really hate it. They're looking for the Beastmaster. I'll talk more about that item in a little bit. A Beast should just be a freebie here.
Yeah,
gone.
Stim grab Zeal.
Yeah. So in this game, I hate it in particular because Bristleback doesn't really care much about it. You got a Razor who's gonna have a really early BKB, and you know there's not like a Wind Ranger on that team or like a Leshrac or something where it would make like super much sense. Sure, you farm a little bit faster, but is it really worth that investment? It's a very expensive item for what it does.
I will say too that it's going to be first massive item here for Bristleback is going to be the Ags. I think that's just going to be so good in these condensed team fights when you're just seeing how close quarters it's going to get.
Oh yeah, Bristol
like,
actually
has to kind of get up.
danger.
Spectre has to kind of get forward. If you really want to be helping with the supports, I guess you could sit back a little bit, but then you're really not accomplishing all too much. And then I guess Echo, after he's done with the Rolling Thunder, like he's going to be affected by this Ags coming out for the Bristleback too. I think this is a really big upgrade that if Monet gets in a timely fashion, which he's already up on these heroes on EHOME by quite a bit, it could be a big problem.
It's definitely the biggest power spike that Bristol has in pretty much every game. They have a Treant to keep him alive this game as well, which is usually his problem, that he doesn't have a whole lot of armor if you itemize into a fast axe. This game won't be a problem at all. And yeah, they're looking very, very primed to have a strong mid game. The Razor BKB almost online as well.
Yeah, at that level 4 of the living armor, that 12 extra armor is gonna feel really big because he's got 13 armor now, so that 12. Obviously, if he gets no more armor, 25 armor is going to be rough for them to get through on the side of EHOME. And Monet's going to feel really strong.
They do have a nice item, though, against Bristol, of course, which is the Diffusal on Pangolier. He hates getting mana burned on Bristol.
Does he have anything? He does have a soul ring, I guess.
He does, but it's really not enough to upkeep, unfortunately. So if he comes into a fight with a half mana, it's going to get pretty problematic for them, I'd say.
They're going to smoke. They're going to try and make something happen. They're going to head towards what is pointed to as top. And Bobica is the only one there, but now Illusory Orb stolen by Planet. It was the jump with the Waning Rift through onto Shiro, but nothing doing.
100 gold off the BKB.
And then Ori's looking for the Blink Dagger, so he's looking for a little bit more mobility.
Yep. It's farming up way too much. That is the biggest problem of a Spectre in a very accelerated carry meta, right? Where you are just like one carry that doesn't really farm super fast at all.
Yeah, I don't know why the popularity's here for Spectre. I don't think that Spectre keeps the pace that well.
It doesn't. It's more like a mid-late game investment for those team fights, because it does give you like the most important thing in Dota, right? Which is vision advantage and team fights. You see everything all the time.
Trying to get the mid-tier 1. Being healed up constantly by PickU.
Yeah, and now there's a Razor BKB. Woo! It's gonna be tough fights. It's gonna be tough fights from here on out. 4k lead. 700 gold off the axe.
Wow. Yeah. The ball's rolling real fast for Aster.
Yeah. Once you have that axe, Roshan is also mega easy because you get those additional goo stacks. On Roche, how many more do you get? 7 instead of 4.
I don't know if you've ever like played basketball or something. We used to have a basketball court at my summer camp, and it was right next to a hill, and I would take a shot, it'd bounce off the rim, start going down the hill, and I could never catch the ball. It feels like EHOME or me. They can't quite catch the ball yet. They're gonna try. We'll see what they can do. Rolling Thunder comes out, and they maybe get PickU, but that might be it. Like, that is one long kill. Like, even that took a while.
Yeah, you can really see the damage issues right now coming through already. Once that Bristleback stands in front with a Treant armor.
And he's got the axe.
Yeah. I want to see how they kill him. It looks nigh impossible to me right now. Same with the Razor. You can roar him, but then what? Spectre needs the Manta style and level 4 Desolate, then they have real single target damage.
So we'll see what they do with this Ags and what they could do potentially if Monet gets to an even quicker BKB.
I would love it if you just force a Roche fight with this. Roche is pretty easy when you have Bristleback. And again, they have a lot of damage issues right now, which will kind of be remedied once Spectre gets a little bit bigger. But while you have the chance to, go collect your free Aegis.
Might as well. They are kind of grouped up that way.
Yeah. Or you just finish the Blink Dagger as well.
Does Monet... I guess BKB, you don't want to sacrifice any of that gold getting, say, the shard yet.
Yeah, you don't really need a shot. I think he wants to transition to right click after that.
So he could just wait till second Roche, honestly, to get the shard.
Yeah, and Bristol's right clicks, obviously, in the recent patch, also got buffed quite a bit with that Warpath, now giving you 10 stacks. It's a whopping 600 damage with the level 25 talent that you get from that.
Right now he's only taking the 1.5 mana regen on that level 10 talent. He's going to be 15 in just a second. And he's stacking for himself. He's making sure everything's pretty easy, especially, again, with that Ags upgrade and having that Viscous Nasal Goo. Just being that that no target AoE.
Yep, an additional 200 health turned as well. Sitting at 3k health, pretty much. There will be a lot of damage though, once the Spectre hits that Manta Style timing. So he has to be careful he doesn't get isolated.
I would say Aster, not that they necessarily need to fight right now, but they're in a position where they feel like they should fight. And they are heading towards top, but they go for an illusion. Now, thinking about the Rolling Thunder, Telekinesis, XXS pops the BKB. Has the static link, kind of walking the dog right now, but Echo now turning it around and maybe looking to put a bite onto his owner, who had the leash before him. They get the kill to pick you. They're going to move over on XXS, who no longer has that BKB. Monet on the run a little bit. They pop the blade mail. They've got the stolen Dream Coil that's laid down on XXS. They get the kill there onto the Razor. Primal Roar is used on Ori. Planet trying to find an opening, but the Chaotic Offering comes down with the Fatal Balance on 3 of these heroes. They've got the Overgrowth to get the kill on the ZZQ as well as Planet. So it's a 2 for 2 with the buyback being used by the Triumph Protector.
There should be Roche.
They need to get a +1. But they can't find Echo and they can't find anything else. And yeah, Monet goes into Roche. That was really well played by EHOME, all things considered.
Yeah, I think they overchased just a little bit towards the end there. I gotta admit, I was very surprised by how timid Monet was. He was kind of just letting the Razor die.
Waiting up the hill.
Yeah, he was like, I don't know if I want to help you just here. Ooh, out of mana. I think this is Roche on the board right here.
Leaving Roche at half health like that. He's getting some sips on the bottle, but...
Remember what I said about entering fights with low mana on Bristol in this game is going to be the downfall? Yeah,
could be. Smoke, blink, avalanche, looking for another toss target, knowing that that is ZZQ dead already. Back into Roche they go.
Yep. -3, -6, -9. Bristol at Roshan is very balanced.
And get the kill. They get the Aegis. They've got the Dream Coil. They look over at Echo and Planet. Planet stole the plasma field, but it's not going to matter. And now Zeal stepped up a little bit too far. The damage before he TP's out, not enough.
Clutch Frost Armor there on himself to save him. But yeah, now you have Bristol with Aegis to worry about. And if they take out all the 6 outer towers right now, the map is going to be minuscule for the Spectre.
Which is something we talked about being the biggest enemy to the Spectre.
Yeah. The good news is he has Manta Style, so single target damage is there now. But what if the hero is not isolated? What if an ally is standing next to him? It's gonna be very difficult if all 3 of the enemy cores are just as farmed as the Spectre.
Smoke up. If they lose this fight, they might just have to say goodbye to the game.
I'm surprised they feel the urgency to fight right now. It's gonna be a tough fight.
It's without Spectre, but obviously Spectre has Haunt.
Yeah. It's without the Helm of the Overlord too, which is up in 100 gold.
So that's
Okay, Ori just TP'd out to the mid. So if there's a fight bottom, it's gonna be 4v5. And he's back already. Hi, Puck.
Yeah, he was top and then he went mid, and now he's bot. And
Look at
they're gonna
Bristol's
take his
damage.
outer tower.
400 damage. 500, sorry.
He just hit so hard. 10 stacks.
We're on high ground.
8 stacks.
There's no one there to defend the
keep it up.
spam.
They need to get there. They need to make something happen.
They might lose the tower before it even starts. Half health.
I guess they kind of save it. It took 1,000 damage though.
Yeah, don't have the treant on their team though, so all the damage is permanent.
They're nearby. They still have this Aegis to rock and roll for another 2 minutes. Shiro needs to be careful with his positioning as well.
Yeah. Burning all the mana of the Bristol though. Of course, Bristol without mana is not really a hero.
But he does have that Aegis, so he can like move in with not a lot of mana, fight, die, and then respawn full health, full mana. But that's also if EHOME allow him to die, I guess.
Yeah. 100 gold off the refresher. The Razor is basically as farmed as a carry Razor would be at this timing, which is a pretty scary prospect.
What do you do if you're EHOME?
Spam out as much as you can, make the Spectre get rich. But that's the problem, if the Spectre is the only hero getting rich, we have seen it, doesn't quite cut it anymore.
250 gold there from Monet, taking out that dominated ancient creep.
Where's the Vessel? Oh, you're in the Vessel on Rubik, huh? Just to answer the Bristleback.
Looks like they're gonna push out top. Pretty cut and dry game at the moment.
Yeah. The thing is, Aster doesn't really want to force anything too much. I just want to make sure that EHOME doesn't get much of the map. They've really just used this Aegis to accumulate an advantage. When they picked up the Aegis, I think they had, what, like 4k? So they just want to slowly whittle away at EHOME. They're threatening high ground again. No one's there again to spam out.
The reason Monet is always low on mana is because he's constantly pressing Q whether or not anything's next to him. He's just keeping himself at 10 stacks all the time.
Yeah.
He's literally pressing it and nothing's there to get hit.
That's how you gotta play the pig, man. Is it a pig?
Huh. He's like a porcupine?
Is it classified as a pig or is it something else? I really don't know.
I mean, he's got a pig snout. Maybe he's a pigupine?
Maybe.
Radiant's top tower.
Going into Satanic on the Bristol. Wow.
Why not?
Without any attack speed though?
Why not?
Because without attack speed, it's not that good.
Is it not that good when you're hitting for 800 per hit?
I like the AC shows. Oh, mid and haunt.
And they use the Haunt. The Chaotic Orphan comes out with the Primal Roar. They get a quick kill on XXS. They're going to move that over to Bobica. Shiro might be in a little bit far. Dream Coil is going to get used. Monet is in with the BKB. They've got the Avalanche coming out from Bobica as well as the toss that's through into Shiro. Shiro not dead just yet, but the right click comes out from Monet to finish him off. BKB's running out for this Bristleback. Echo moves forward with a Swashbuckle. And I guess trade-wise, that is favorable for Aster.
Yeah, but being this far behind, I think EHOME is actually pretty happy with that. You saw how fast Razor exploded, right? Like, we spoke about the damage potential of the Spectre when a target is isolated. Even the Bristol fell to half health super quickly. Oh, Echo, and just TP.
Just TP.
That's a lot of damage though. There were 3 hits. Just saying, if you had an AC there, that's a kill. No?
You think so? AC?
Oh yeah.
Huh?
He would have gotten like, at least 2 more hits in. Wahoo! Nice.
I still think he's a pigupine.
We just got confirmation that he's a pig, so I was right all along. Thank you, B-Cop. Stand down.
Pretty shredded pig.
Hey. Have
He
you
does
seen those
have-
cats that are like muscular as heck?
No. But I will say, Monet, 283 CS. Pretty high.
I'm just saying when I played Anti-Mage, I had like 500 at this time, okay?
Looking for the blink, looking for the avalanche. Does not find it on Shiro. However, I believe that was a stolen overgrowth coming out from Planet. Doesn't get the kill on Ori. Now they're going to drop down the Dream Coil.
Shiro in trouble.
Ori ends up dead. Zeal falls. Shiro in trouble. Shiro dead. XXS gets the kill on that one with the Rolling Thunder, finishing off Pikyu. It's a 2 for 2 that, again, with Shiro dying, has to benefit Aster more. They'll steal the avalanche, but that won't land as Bobika's got the Force Staff, and now turning this around, looking for Echo. Echo with the swashbuckle in the BKB. But the chase is on. The chase is there. They get the kill on Echo. They'll take out ZZQ, and 4 heroes are dead on the side of EHOME.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to see a GG out anytime soon, but the writing might be on the wall. You just see those team fights are so hard to execute right now. Like, that they even got Puck was a very big outplay from EHOME's side. Ori definitely did not expect that. But yeah, the fight windows are just tightening more and more and more. This Bristleback is just Alchemist-like almost, net worth-wise.
Yeah.
I think what could save EHOME is that Monet's finger starts hurting from pressing Q all the time. And then...
And most of the time with nothing there. Just constant 10 stacks. Until he runs out of mana. Telekinesis, there's the haunt, there's the primal
like
damage, and he'll die. And they're gonna jaunt for more. They wanted to get XXS, but they weren't able to lock him down enough.
Too cocky. Single target damage of Spectre, you can't underestimate that. It's no joke. Roshan is up in the middle. If there was an early Rose spawn, EHOME was back in it. No problem.
Swashbuckle into a Waning Rift. Avalanche comes out. They're going to look over at Pikyu. They get themselves the kill onto the Treant. It was the Avalanche that was thrown by Planet that locked him down.
Yeah. Stolen Rubik Avalanche is so mega broken. Because you get that additional lockdown too. You can't BKB through it. You can't do anything through it, even with status resistance.
So no Bristle for 45.
Yeah, I'm a little bit sad that there was no...
lines up with Roche.
Yeah, exactly. It's super lucky for Aster. So it was an early Roche spawn? Nah, I don't think so. I don't think so. Maybe from Roche if it's for free.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And the next Roche if they get it.
Oh yeah. I think he's the best candidate.
What's the Puck one's the phase shift? Telekinesis,
fight without Bristol.
Ori, this is, fight without the Bristleback. They've got the Spirit Vessel on him. Avalanche comes out, but it's not going to matter. Now you're without Ori. And he is no buyback.
Roche up in 5. They're being very sloppy on Aster, and EHOME is punishing it perfectly. Like, he was not supposed to die there. How did you get silenced? Mind broken? Or did he steal Puck silence? He stole Puck silence.
Yeah, he stole the Puck silence.
Yeah.
They still are going to put the pressure on. Monet doesn't want to give up this Roche for free. Spectral Dagger gets thrown.
So it said 0 for like literally 20 seconds. It's still not
up. It says 0 for me.
Yeah, same. It's still not up. Oh, now it is.
Okay.
Spectre is a Roche Slayer with that Manta style. Pops it. Oh, it's a lot of damage. You guys gotta get in there soon.
They still don't have Puck for 15 seconds, but it doesn't look like they can deter them. Monet's going to try and walk into the pit, but the telekinesis is there. It may not line up in time, though, with the BKB, and the Aegis is
Monet's alone.
0, and Monet is alone. He did pop that Satanic, so he's back to full health. They'll end up stealing the tree grab. Not the best thing to steal as the Plasma Field comes in. They'll get the kill on a Planet. They'll look over at ZZQ. It will be a double kill for XXS, but they get away with the Aegis on Shiro, and I believe they also got the shard. So all that talk about Monet getting the shard for free, well, that opportunity is botched.
Out the window. Still a pretty decent fight. Losing your 2 supports is not the end of the world at all. But you can see how fast the Bristleback is actually dying if he's isolated, right? Like, the Spectre is becoming a decent problem. Almost has his butterfly completed.
Bristle has a lot of farm, but the question is whether or not they can keep that farmed Bristleback alive. And on top of which, make something happen. It feels like, I would say, the Aster pressure has kind of slowed down significantly.
It has. Like that death on the Bristol, then followed up by the death on Ori. Definitely putting the brakes on. But Monet very close to 25. That's when Warpath really starts hurting. It's basically 2-3 rapiers worth of damage. It's going to be sitting at what? Like 800 damage per right click? It's going to be absolutely ridiculous.
Charm for the Beastmaster. Now you've got that blink available on Picayune. Picayune's going to try and blink Overgrowth if given the opportunity to do so. But it's a 5-man smoke, and this smoke, again, very crucial as Shiro does have that Aegis. They need to make something happen. Right now it is just Picayune bottom. Not exactly the hero that you want to be going for the kill on. But Shiro shows himself bottom. Obviously, he doesn't need to be there if he's got Haunt available, but it's down for 20 seconds. So
gave away the smoke, though.
While they're mid, they can't do anything with it yet.
Yeah. So now he finally picked up the AC on the Bristol, plus the Warpath talent. Now look at that juicy damage per stack. 60.
Let's see when he gets to 10 stacks as he's just spamming Q.
One more.
And one more. 9
one
again.
More.
9
more.
again.
9 again. There
10.
we go.
There we go.
800 damage.
844 damage, if I caught that correctly. I don't know. It kind of blinked before my eyes. I'm not really doing anything with this Aegis just yet. I know they wanted to set up with that 5-man smoke.
Spectra, if you get the Skadi up as well, Bristol is not a hero that beats Spectra 1v1. You really gotta make sure that you enable him in those fights.
You know what I am noticing is Puck is kind of behind on farm in terms of where the Puck I thought was going to be. But that being said, they've got the Primal Roar coming out on a Monet. Monet, though, he's fine for the moment. They've got the Diffuser to slow him down. They're going to jaunt Shiro over towards Bobica as well as Picayune, but they get the kill to ZZQ. It's Ori getting the kill there. Rolling Thunder's going to run out in just a moment. The Swashbuckler to get away, but here comes the blink as well as the Overgrowth. The BKB gets popped by Echo. He's still on the run, but Zeal taken out of immediately. And, well, Echo's still trying to run, trying to hide, while Planet is taken out by Monet.
Yeah, pretty much got one tapped. Alright, high ground is a real possibility now. Botched initiation, unfortunately. You can't really kill the Bristol if he has his back face towards you, obviously. And you will see him shred the buildings. Like, he will hit harder than a Tiny did. Look at that. Oh. And you also have a Tiny on your team, of course. So.
No glyph. Do they try to fight? They do have the chaotic offering. They do have Rolling Thunder,
Shiro!
they may not have Shiro. He's on the run, and the plasma field gets him down to a minuscule amount of health, but they're not going to die for it. I feel like they certainly had the opportunity to do so.
Yeah, I still have that Aegis though, so don't want to overcommit again as they have before. So just take it slow, get the MKB up on Bristol. Honestly, I would prefer the Abyssal Blade, because you could see damage is not really an issue.
He swapped to it.
He did?
Yeah, he just swapped to Abyssal.
Alright, Monet, good job. You are worthy of praise.
Am I worthy of praise?
B-Cup, you're great.
Didn't feel genuine.
B-Cup, you're great. B-Cup, you're great.
Oh, you.
You little city boy, B-Cup, you're great.
19k lead here for Aster. Set a
Can I
cap.
make it 20? Anyone 20? No.
Getting close. Kind of nearby. Echo and the rest of the team might need to be careful.
So that, I think when the game is almost unwinnable is when Puck reaches 25, because then Pangolier is completely shut down in those team fights.
Right.
So they still got about, what, I don't know, 3-4 minutes until he reaches a level 25. So yeah, the windows of opportunity are closing. You know the saying, when one door closes, another one opens? Not the case for EHOME here. When that door closes, it's shut forever and nothing will open.
Point dagger
indeed.
for the Beastmaster. And they're not going to really go for it at all yet, but
Dire's top tower is under
You know what they're
they're waiting
missing?
for their moment.
They need Boots of Bearing and a Wraith Pact or Helm of the Overlord to make the auras complete.
On whose side?
Aster.
About a minute left till Roche potentially spawns, by the way.
Yep. Monet could buy out on the Abyssal, chooses to keep buyback instead. Understandable.
Yes,
Like-
I don't think EHOME exactly take buildings so quickly where it would matter.
They do have the
Now-
beast,
now
who's always
he's-
scary.
Okay, he bought out. He bought out on the Abyssal. I was gonna say
Why does he
switched
always
over to
do
the
what I'm
MKB,
asking him
but
to do? Like, he's actually listening.
He might be. Andisk gets popped on Ori. He's gonna be down for 2 minutes.
Yeah. He does have the buyback though. Look at how tanky Monet is. 4.1k health with a treant armor. Sitting at about, what, 50 armor?
No.
He doesn't have the talent yet, so just 40. Which is still a lot. Silver lining is that Desolate, of course, ignores that. Juicy armor. Alright, they're waiting for the next Roche.
Yeah, 50
That's-
seconds.
If it's a free axe and Razor gets that. Woo. Woo! Gonna be lights out.
Now we reach that 20k mark.
Yeah.
There's
Guardian
the
Spectre.
Scotty. So certainly give them an opportunity to bring this game back if Spectre's just able to keep farming and farming. And it's another 5-man smoke from EHOME. We'll see if they find a victim on this one. Right now, PicQ's the one standing in a great position to break these smokes.
Yeah, it's prime position. Will they be able to really do anything? No. They're going the long way, really long way. But the lanes are pushing in. Aster. No novices, of course. They know exactly what's going on.
Scans out, but it doesn't connect yet,
Again, it's at
and then
0.
Finally connects.
Roshan does just not want to spawn today. He's a little bit shy.
Yeah. Bit of a spectator bug.
What, bugs? No, we don't have that here.
Still hasn't spawned yet.
Brister's running in like a madman. Ugh. They're going Shiro.
Shiro, he might be the one who ends up getting caught as he's going to try and jaunt with this hunt, bouncing back and forth with the throwing thunder coming out here from Echo. Monet, though, standing his ground and looks over
the
the
beast.
Abyssal and just 4 shots Zeal, who buys back, and 2 shots Planet. And there's another 2 shots. EZQ goes down, Echo gets taken out, Shiro falls to Ori. These heroes have bought back, but my God, the damage is there from Monet.
He 3-shot the Pangolier also. 2 shots on ZZQ. I mean, what do you do? He's hitting for 900 at that hit. The base is gone.
Is disgusting.
You have 1 more Rex left, but
upset.
can you defend that? The pig says no. A message from the pig. Get out of my game.
There it is. Mega creeps, and they just called GG before the last fight. Toss up. Oh my God. Almost one-shot the Warlock.
Yeah, it's ugly if the game ever gets to this sort of scenario. Well, we said it, right? It was a free Bristol game, and he definitely delivered.
Yeah, he definitely did. That was absurd, honestly. Just what he was able to accomplish right there felt very, very strong. And I mean, how much damage did he do at the end of the day? It was scrolling, damage dealt, only 26,000.
Yeah,
Shiro technically did more damage than Monet, but of course there was more there for Aster behind it, right?
Mhm.
Wow. I mean, great job by Aster. I thought that was a great game.
By Team Aster at the end of the day, and they end up with a situation where they take the game one victory here. They take it in emphatic fashion. Unfortunately, gentlemen, I hate to use these words because these are words that we never want to use for this Chinese DPC. This game was boring. And you know why it was boring, Black? Because it was very apparent early on exactly how it was going to go. Like, one of the early engagement, they tried to run down Monet. They're like, well, we can't actually kill him. We have to transition to killing a support. And it's like, well, if you can't kill a Bristleback 10 minutes in a game with several heroes encroaching upon him, you're going to have some difficulties throughout the rest of the stages of this game. And unfortunately, that's how it panned out. EHOME kept running out of damage. They would make the jump, and then it's like, well, now what, right? And that's always hurts my soul whenever I see a team in a situation where they're like, now what? How do you win a game under those conditions?
Well, you don't, right? Yeah, that's what we saw here. Like, the hard counter to Bristol is Silver Edge or Break of any kind. If you can't build that, his Warpath will wreck you, his Bristleback will wreck you. Like, what can you do? Nothing. Maybe they should have gone out of the way, to be honest, to build a Silver Edge, because I really just don't see how you can play against the Bristol without any sort of answer.
Yeah, because I mean, Black himself mentioned during the draft, right, before the game even started, that they need some kind of Silver Edge bias, some kind of way to address this Bristleback. And given that they don't have a natural one, they had to try to figure something out. And they didn't do that, right? And it's very apparent from just watching the draft itself that they needed that kind of item. Nobody really reached it. I mean, when you're in a situation where you have to build Spirit Vessel on Rubik instead of building Blink Dagger, right? It really felt like they got taken advantage of by this late game lost pick. Oh, well, not lost pick. What pick was it? It was pick
It was absolute last.
It was absolute loss. Yeah, 10th pick. Yeah, I thought it was 9th. Yeah, it was absolute 10th pick. Bristleback. Given what you saw in the game itself, does it feel like EHOME even had an idea of exactly how to address this?
I think they did at times, because there were a few times where they were able to kill the Bristleback and do a lot of damage very quickly. They just didn't move at a pace quick enough, and that's what we talked about with Spectre, right? Like, the farming pace is just not there to keep up with games like this, and I think there were opportunities where, like, they got a kill and then maybe didn't do more with it. Like, they killed Monet but didn't take enough with that kill to really expand on that. I think there was opportunity to do so, but they need to take a better job at taking advantage of things like that. Like, if you get a kill on Monet, I think you have to go for more. But it wasn't exactly clean from EHOME when they did get that kill anyway.
I mean, the only way the game goes EHOME's way is if they can somehow invade the triangle super early with their team fight with Warlock, Spectre, Pangolier. But then you're running into a Bristleback anyway, who is a tough kill no matter what you do.
Yeah.
It was just an uphill battle from the start, and they had some good chances, I think, when they killed Monet in the mid-tier 2, and then they killed Ori in the river. There were chances. It's just, yeah, it's just too difficult. Can't really allow any mistakes to happen.
A very difficult game overall. One thing that I did also cotton onto on the side of EHOME is they sort of fell prey to the difficulty of the game, but one of the things they fell prey to here, Black, this hero that we saw in the mid lane, this Pangolier for Echo. Now, Pango started being shifted towards middle primarily because we see this hero run out of resources and look very lackluster in a lot of the games, from the offlane at the very least. So teams started putting him mid. You can at least rush the Diffusal Blade and then still get your next +1 item, whether that be Blink, BKB, or a Basher, depending on what the need is for said game. This situation, it felt like an offlane Pango, honestly. Like, it didn't feel like they got the impact that you normally see out of this Echo Pango. I understand that they lack the damage to kill this Bristleback at most points of the game, sure. But there was a stage when there were pre-BKB on this Razor, there were pre-Aeon Disc on the Puck. What disallowed EHOME from making earlier movements from the Pangolier to try and get something happening in the game itself?
The biggest problem that I saw was definitely just that the Spectre got bullied out of lane way too hard. So Echo had a perfect game early on, right? He was top of the net worth, and then Shiro decided, yeah, I'm out of bottom, I'm TPing mid bye. And Echo was forced to jungle and try to find rotations here and there. They smoked twice where they couldn't really find any kills because they're just too tanky. And yeah, like it's hard to really blame Echo for this because he really just got bullied out of lane by Shiro, you know, who also needed the lane. Nobody could lane the Razor. It was a big problem.
Yeah, it did feel like they had very few resources to deal with both XXX's Razor and the Monet Bristleback, let alone Ori creating chaos in the background on his puck. Probably the reason having such tanky frontliners on his team is what allowed Echo to, or Ori rather, to go for the much earlier Aeon Dust than what we normally see on these pucks these days. But with that enables Team Aster to take a very strong Game 1 victory. So now they're going to be going into Game number 2 very confident and feeling like they have the advanced momentum here. As we go into a short break here, we're going to be hoping and praying that Team EHOME has a way to come back into this game so that we get a glorious Game 3. 2-0 stomps. The last one wasn't that much fun, so I'm hoping that we get a different outcome on this one. Very quickly before we go on break, B-Cup, what are the odds here? Are you rating EHOME for Game 2, or do you think it's going to be a 2-0 stomp?
2-0.
B-Cup, ever the optimist here in Chinese Dota today. With that, we're going to be taking a short break, and when we return, we'll be seeing if EHOME can make this a 3-game series or if we will just go down immediately into a 2-0 situation. With that, we're going to be going on a short break. Myself, joined by B-Cup and Black, will be returning in a moment with some more Dota 2 action. Don't go anywhere. Welcome one and all here back to the Chinese DPC as we continue with today's Division 1 action. Of course, we have had to, as stated before, replace our production team given that they are in somewhat resembling imminent danger, so we're just hoping that they're safe and covered. But we're still going to be here with you. Myself, Snare, joined by Black and B-Cop as we continue with the day's hype. We've just seen Team Aster demolish EHOME with a last pick Bristleback. We're going to be hoping and praying that EHOME have some kind of way to bring this back because we want more Dota, we want a Game 3, and we don't want more stomps. But with that, we're already deep into the draft, so let us get into it. Black, I'm going to ask you because I don't have Ricky around here to hype up this hero. Pudge, we see it. Where is it going? We've seen safe lane Pudge, mid Pudge, off lane Pudge, support Pudge. Where is this the fat man going in this game?
It previously, and it was a mid patch, so I'm expecting it to be the same again because into Void Spirit is actually one of the freest lanes in like the entire game. Void Spirit can't do anything to pressure you. You have kill threat on him. He doesn't have kill threat on you. It's perfect.
Are you happy about Visage though? I know you hate this hero. You hate Visage. What did you say? Visage, Lycan, Beastmaster, your most hated heroes right now. So does EHOME have what it takes, given that they've gone for the second pick Visage, to defend the game long enough to get this Void Spirit involved in things?
Now, I said I hate it because it's so strong, right? It's definitely an amazing, amazing hero. So yeah, it also is pretty strong against Patch too. We'll see how the early game goes though. Like a Patch can just snowball completely out of control, and then Visage is nothing because you have the fast X, your passive is gone, and then your birds die, you die, everything dies, your hope dies, 2-0 next game. Or next day, rather.
Biko, put me on here. Icy Hero, you are the Ancient Apparition Specialist, you know? I must compliment you. You've done a very good job this tour of not bringing that hero up every single game, but we have an Icy Hero to open up things
Such
here.
a backhanded compliment. Holy
No, it's not. It's saying that you have managed to temper yourself.
You've done a good job of shutting up about Ancient Apparition. But whatever, man.
But you like Ice Heroes, man. Talk to me about this Ice Hero here. First pick, Winter Wyvern. It's most likely going to be occupying the support position here for Team Aster. Do you like it, given that it's most likely also the Siamese Cat hero? You like this player? Do you like this hero? And do you like it in this game?
Yeah, I mean, I'm always fine with the Winter Wyvern. Again, it's falling back on those supports that heal, which has been the trend, obviously, since the salve has been nerfed, or the sharing of salves has been nerfed. So you've got one that can heal here. I guess the question becomes, what is PickU going to do in terms of building it? We saw the previous Winter Wyvern game, obviously, was against the Dawnbreaker, but they banned that. So now you need to be kind of wise to how you're going to cold embrace in these games. And if it's going to be what we saw was a 2-1-2 build, I believe, before 6 for the Winter Wyvern. It was 2 in the Arctic Burn, 1 in the Splinter Blast, and 2 in the Cold Embrace, which I'm fine with. Like, the heavy heal is pretty nice, but unfortunately in this game with the early Winter Wyvern pick, because it was one Wyvern, then Void Spirit, then Visage, like, EHOME kind of set for that, right? Like, oh, you're going to Cold Embrace him? All right, I'll put an Aether Remnant there to make sure that he's locked down coming out of the Cold Embrace. Or Visage, I'll put my Familiars on him. So I guess they have set up for when you're out thawed from the Cold Embrace. Not exactly amazing, but it is heal.
Heal just does feel overall pretty strong. Today we saw RNG look quite good with this this Winter Wyvern, but they buttressed that with the Nature's Prophet deeper into the draft. So I'm curious to see if we're going to see the same thing emerging right now from Team Aster, especially considering these bans. Black, these look like the bans you would ban out if you were going to pick Nature's Prophet, right? Timbersaw, Batrider as well. Well, maybe not Weaver as much, but certainly the other two. Well, what are the options? What's the odds that Team Aster just basically steal a draw from RNG in the second game?
Bans also cover a carry Patch though, potentially, because Patch is playing against all of these heroes. So I think they just want to keep open like the versatility of the hero, because it can still also go in the offlane, right? Like he can do pretty much whatever he wants to. And they do not have the last pick, so they'll have to show their hand now. Did you guys all know, by the way, Winter Wyvern heal level 1 costs 50 mana? 50?
Yeah,
you can cast like unlimited.
Yeah, it's very, very good.
Alright, so there's a mid or carry Patch.
Knowing Team Aster, it's more likely to be Monet.
Monet
Pudge.
doesn't play this kind of hero. Really? You think so?
I'm
I
just
think Monet
thinking
is
that,
more like
like,
this like farmy kind of stability guy.
I'm just thinking that the way the game looks, right? Because normally I would fully agree that Monet is a more farmy type of guy, right? But I'm thinking, do you want to farm with carry Pudge when you have an offlane Beastmaster and you have like these very specific timings to look strong in the mid game, right? Like between Pudge and Beastmaster. I'm just not sure how comfortable I am with Monet taking carry Pudge, and then what does Ori play then? Like, what? Puck, Void Spirit, both of them. I mean, Void Spirit's already in the game. Puck is still in the game, but I don't know. I just think that I would want to see something a bit more active from Ori under these conditions. But you're definitely right that historically it's just normally been the kind of draft where Monet, he has the last overall pick for his team, second last overall in the game, that he would be demanding the win condition and saying, Ori, try something, fam. I'm going to be the one that's winning out everything for us. So with that, while we're still determining this B Cup, this Mars will emerge for EHOME. Does this mean we're gonna have a support Visage? I don't like this personally. I think support Visage is not nearly as strong as core Visage. What do you feel about this in this game?
Isn't Zeal a really good Visage player?
Yeah.
He is, yeah.
Like, I don't know if you're Zeal right now. You're probably like, oh yeah, I get to play Visage. Mars. Oh, what the hell? Come on. Yeah, Visage is his signature hero. I don't know. I'd feel pretty bad if he all of a sudden doesn't get to play this hero. But I guess you're not well, you could Void Spirit for.
It's possible.
You
Could.
could.
But they also ran Visage in the 1 before, so it's also a possibility.
That is true. Yeah, it could be a Shiro
Because
Visage.
they do have that last pick. So
So,
Aster is
yeah.
definitely gonna have to show their hand. I would like some scaly mid, to be honest, like a or carry, like some TA, some Lina. If they pick a mid, if it's a carry, it's open end. You can do whatever you want, really.
So as it stands right now, Zeal has an incredibly good record on the Visage. 17 games with a 77% win rate. So looking hella fresh, if that is the direction for them. And overall, EHOME, though, funnily enough, they have a 75% win rate with this hero, the Visage, in this season. The one game they lost, and I mean the only of these games they lost, was a game against PSG LGD, and it was Zeal on that hero, but they have not ever played it in any different role, so it's most likely going to be the Zeal Visage. But if that is the case, then it does mean that we have a very awkward positioning on the Mars, but we'll still see. There's still time to see how the draft envelops, with this Ursa being banned out, no Juggernaut either, and Team Aster now banning out the Alchemist and the Phoenix. This past 5 Alchemists, Black, we've been seeing it more and more in China. Do you think it's just overall viable, or is it just a regional specialty that some teams are just wary of?
I do think it's very, very strong. I also think Sven is very strong. Those strength support heroes right now, they can secure the lane pretty easily because they just keep getting buffed patch after patch. At level 1, acid spray is like what, -4 armor, a ton of damage, stun deals like half your HP if you're under the acid spray. I think it's super strong.
Well,
But historically, China is very slow to pick up on that, right? It's usually like the Europeans and American teams.
fortunately, your historical knowledge is also quite good, because this is last pick CK on the Team Aster side, means that it is going to be a Monet CK and an Ori Pudge middle, which personally I don't like, but whatever. On the other side, though, Shiro Medusa as the last pick. B-Cup, there was a point in time when we got so tired of Medusa, we literally started praying on the broadcast to not see this hero involved in the game. 10th pick Medusa, you got the Snake Lady. Is it a winning Snake Lady? I mean, it is playing into CK, it's playing into Beastmaster, it's playing into Pudge, as well as the Winter Wyvern. Not the easiest Medusa game in the world, but there are some prospects of it. Do you have faith, though, that Shiro can carry this one forward, as we've seen him often do on this hero?
Again, it comes down to pressure and timing. I think if they can't keep the pace, they're going to be in trouble. I think Void Spirit and Mars should do a decent job in like keeping pace and being able to do something, but we'll see. Like if Monet has an early game that goes well, or if the lanes go decent enough for Aster, I could see this lineup kind of just wanting to fight and make sure EHOME don't find anything that they really want in the game. So it comes down to how the lanes go. But I'm worried for EHOME. They haven't shown that they can play the pace well.
And what do you make of this, Black? Of the laning phase in particular is going to be a massive issue in this game. But not only that, we also have the Ori mid punch for Team Aster. Is this degree of experimentation going to work out for them, you think?
Well, from personal experience, Patch beats Void Spirit quite badly, just because you have such a massive base damage advantage. And honestly, it's not an easy Medusa game, because there are ways to relocate you, right? You have the Reality Rift, you have the Patch Hook, something Medusa really hates. If you ever get dragged out of position, you can easily die. On top of that, a farmed Patch is gonna make this +4 Visage seem like a non-factor. Like your passive is just gone, you just feed. I do think if they get to late game, they have a chance. It's just, can they get there without like 30k disadvantage? It's going to be very tough.
I'm also thinking that seems like a fairly tough game here on the side of EHOME. This Visage that's going to be occupying the 4 position has a lot to do without being caught out. It has been a long time, let's just put it that way, since EHOME has won a game with a support Visage of this nature, and where Planet hasn't been playing a playmaker. They also tend to have some issues in the draft. And I'm also, I'll be honest, not a fan of the Medusa in this game. Feels like a very difficult Medusa game. However, this is China. This is a last pick Medusa. And more than once have we seen Medusa shine under these conditions and carry the team to victory. Whether or not that'll happen in this game is unknown, but let us find out together in the second and all-important game between EHOME and Team Aster. Team Aster need this W to continue their track towards major qualification as well as TI qualification, whereas EHOME still trying to solidify their name within Division 1. Let's see which way this one goes. With B-Cop and Black on the mic. Take it away, boys. Talk to you after the game. Good luck, have fun, and please, 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 let there not be more Medusas after this. Enjoy life.
Still might not be enjoying his life. Or perhaps Monet. Ow.
Oh boy. Oh, Monet. Zeal is it going to be... Oh, wow. It was almost Monet, who ended up dropping. Bobica, it'll fall. So it ends up being a trade so far. And it looks like it might be one more, as PQ now has to run from 4 heroes. The rest of Aster bailing. So 2 for 1 before the horn. This feels like Southeast Asian Dota.
Wow. And a double kill for Void Spirit, which is
massive.
Obviously super, super important. Yeah, he was going to lose that lane to Patch just by default, but the double kill maybe is going to swing into a different direction. Honestly, Aster just overstepping a little bit. Their level 1 is not the greatest. It really isn't. Get punished for it.
It's time for the mutings.
What?
As everybody spams their lines.
Yeah, already muted.
Oh, you don't hear them?
Pre-muted.
Wow.
Toxic pop players. Pre-muted.
Fair enough. All right, what lane is looking like the one to watch for you?
Probably bot lane should be the hardest for EHOME. I don't think we should be seeing too many kills up top. Although the CK could potentially get aggressive level 2, level 3. It will come down to positioning mistakes.
Monet has a bugged CK item. Which one is it that's got the Trail of the Burning Doom? It's his mount. So he's got a Trail of the Burning Doom mount. That's pretty hype, considering, well, we don't see many of these anymore. I'm trying to remember who's got the Lycan Trail of the Burning Doom. I want to say it might be Faith Beyond. And then, of course, you know, the classics, the Tusk, the Rubik, the Bleak Hallucination. That gives him that cool little shadowy effect.
Yeah, there's definitely like a whole meta to bugged items.
Yeah, they used to exist, and now not so much anymore. I feel like a lot of players don't use them anymore. Top lane, Zeal taking a lot of damage. The Arctic Burn just needing a couple more shots. What were we gonna say, Black?
Why did Enchantress block her own camp? And now he anti. Literally every time I say anything, I'm getting a little triggered.
Yeah, go on.
No, I'm good. Thank you.
Sure. So looking at this Enchantress right now, level 1, just the Nature's Attendance.
Yeah.
That's why
Look
you
what-
block the camp. He's just level 1. Sure, I'll make an excuse.
Look what
Try
happened.
not
Though.
to take that experience.
As soon as he took his own sentry out, Zeal gets taken out as well. That was totally what I was gonna say.
Yeah, I mean, go for it. That's what you're gonna say. I believe you 100%. PQ gets credit for that kill, and like you said, with that like level 1, 2, level 3 area, he could come back to lane, and it might just happen again.
Yeah.
Bottom lane though, Inkswell will not land on XXS, and Shiro's still taking a lot of damage.
It is such a bad Medusa lane. Like, why didn't they put the
It's certainly
Grimstroke
not
up
fun.
top and then the Visage Dusa together? Would make much more sense in my opinion. Yeah, very, very interesting. Do you also feel like Winter Wyvern is a little bit overbuffed?
In what way?
Like, the first spell now just burning you for 10 seconds is like ridiculous.
Yeah, from 8 to 10 is quite a long time.
So not the burning, but like the flight time is like so much stronger in lane. Even in
Yeah.
mid game too.
Yeah, I mean, 8 to 10, 10 seconds is a long time to fly.
Yeah. I wish my flights were only 10 seconds though, not 10 hours.
12 hours, Singapore, to wherever you're going.
It's a great country, but flying out to anywhere is really annoying.
You could always come to New York, direct flights.
Ah, dude. Let's go. You and me together or what?
I mean, one of us would have to go one way, and then I guess together the
I
other
don't
way.
want to see your brother though.
Why
No
not?
offense to him, but I want to like room with you, not your brother. You know, your brother's a cool guy, as I've seen in the
In the
camera
background.
shot.
Luckily, he got an apartment, so he's moving.
He's
in
out?
July, at the beginning of July. He's out.
Good. Space for me.
Now, this lane is not feeling that great for Shiro. XXS getting just the solo experience, which I think is great. Like Bubaka, he got to level 2. He's got the enchant ready to go. He's got the Nature's Attendance if needed. But XXS taking this lane by himself, I think, is perfectly fine for Aster. So far, things are easy for both sides. Nothing to really write home about. I think Void Spirit's having a very good game. Echo top of the net worth. Ori
Yeah.
maybe not succeeding as much as he'd like, but he's right there with him anyway.
Yeah. Gets a little dismember on him. The double kill early really helped him out a lot. Oh, he's actually going for the kill.
Echo doesn't
Oh, yeah.
have 6.
Yeah. Oh, one more creep to 6. They're going
Yeah,
Ori.
now he's got the 6. Inkswell, Astral Step. They're going to bring the Winter Wyvern over. The Inkswell pops. It lands. The 8th Remnant's there, but there's the cold
Man, so much heal.
Splinter
Ridiculous.
Blast. Ori just needs a
Got the
hook,
hook.
and he finds
Nice.
it. He's got the Dismember. They'll get the kill on the Echo. It's PQ who gets the kill there. They'll look over at ZZQ. Planets come over. Ori feeling like he was too strong for a second, but eventually the Soul Assumption comes in while Shiro is dead bottom to XXS and Bobaka. So you draw the supports off the lanes, and then they get the kill bottom 2.
Yeah, which is exactly what happened, right? They draw them off as soon as the support TP's middle. They go bot lane, while they also kill middle 2v3. So massive, massive victory once more for Aster. And yeah, I am a little bit surprised by how much this Cold Embrace is actually healing.
Dismember top. Ori's there. Looking for the kill on Azeel. Spear's thrown, but Monet has the damage.
And what a crit luck. Like 3 in a row, I think I saw. What the hell?
Did he not get the flesh sheet from that?
He didn't. Got speared away.
It's unfortunate.
It's bad, man. Missing flesh sheeps always hurts.
Never fun. But now Shiro, let's see. He's close to level 6.
He can't lane
XXS though
anymore,
is close to level 6 as well, and I wouldn't be surprised with the way they're moving around. Maybe they make a move with this Primal Roar. Echo and ZZQ are coming towards bottom, but it looks like it's going to be Bobaka who ends up tanking the gank. I don't know if that's exactly where you want to be, but again, they do have the Primal Roar. They don't have the mana for it, though. And now they're going to Ink Swell. Double step to start. And nobody coming over. So, easy kill there. ZZQ, though, taking a lot of damage. Centaur has another stomp in just 6 seconds. Phantom's Embrace. That will silence up Bobica. And he's got the Nature's Attendance. So, Echo chasing Bobica. But, yeah, level 2 heal. Going to be tough to break through that. Almost killing a courier on his way out.
Landed also coming for this one.
Yeah, they're all chasing Bobica as if Bobica is in A-OK with everybody coming over. Meanwhile, Bobica still gets the kill on a ZZQ because of the Centaur. Yes.
I was wondering why he stopped moving there for a second. Of course, it was Magma and Centaur. Denies the rune as... Oh, that was close. Almost denied the rune. How's Pachi looking? Okay, he's rotating top again to the Mars, which is level 5, completely out of mana as well. He is lower level than the Winter Wyvern on the Mars.
That's not good.
That is not good.
Ori just roaming around, doing his thing. Now you've had XXS, full mana. So if you're Shiro, you can't be in this bottom lane. You can't show up. You have to go into the jungle, and that's exactly what he's doing. But that being said, Bobica's also invading and taking your jungle camps.
Yeah, they're gonna get the enchanters out of there somehow. Smoke down again to kill the Beastmaster.
But they'll find Bobica again.
Ayaya.
Echo
Doesn't do
again,
it this
easy
time.
kill. He died a little quick.
Yeah, 2k lead. These Eng kills are really not worth all that much. Pretty big stacks to farm up though. Can Zeal do that though? Needs like 3 spears for that.
Yeah, not exactly that easy. And nobody coming over to try and make it a little bit more difficult.
Yeah. And Shiro comes, he's like, what the hell are you doing, man? Those are my stacks, bro.
I just made him lower for you, sir.
Yeah.
Swear. I wasn't trying to take him. But this, like, timidity that's coming from EHOME, and I say timidity, they do have the same amount of kills as Aster, and they have tried to go bottom a couple times and have just found themselves Bobica 3 of these 6 times. But it is a little bit timid from them. Like, I think they need to play a little bit more fast and loose with Echo. It's allowing CK to get into the armlet. It's allowing him to just farm up the power treads and feel safe. Ori's been doing his own thing, and so is XXS. Like, they've all been free to farm, whereas Shiro got pressured out of his own lane.
Yeah, the big problem is that without a big Mars, you're not really gonna have that same level of initiation. He's 2,000 gold away from his blink, when usually we see a Mars pick up blink tag at like minute 12 or 13. Now Ori smoked it with a haste rune, the best rune on patch possible, and Zeal should just be dead.
They'll throw the stun. They got the spear to push him back for a second, but haste rune, dismember. The kill is there. They'll get the kill into Zeal. The Winter's Curse. It's with the familiars. Now they've got the hook. And they can follow this up with a little extra oomph from this CK, but the stuns are there for the familiars, and now they're going to double jump with the Astral Step. They look over to get the kill on a Monet. Monet low, Cold Embrace is out, but the Soul Assumption once again. Planet trying to get the kill here out of the CK. Reality Rift, the right-click damage, but the Soul Assumption again from Planet. They get themselves the kill on a Monet. That's at least sort of worth it, and Ori +1, well worth it for the side of EHOME. That feels really good. And it's just the 2 kills so far, but the Ink Swell pops. It's out on a PICU. Cold Embrace, not going to matter. After he comes out of this one, there's a second familiar ready and 2 heroes as well. So 3 kills there for the side of EHOME. They do ultimately lose the Mars as well as the Visage, so it ends up being a 2 for 3. Net worth-wise, they gain a little bit, but nothing too crazy. Because... yeah. They've lost their tier 1, both mid and bottom, all while that's happening. Well, not the bottom, but mid went down while they were fighting.
This is really the sort of thing that we're looking for. Like, the Medusa didn't die, now gets all that big, ancient, juicy money. Like, I would love it if they actually invade this somehow. Try to at least. Because late game Medusa doesn't lose this game.
Bobica
again.
4th time's the charm. I say that. Nature's Attendants, Familiars, and yeah, well, there's the Dissimilate. It's only a level 1 Nature's Attendants. Monet's got that Armlet. He's going into the Echo Saber next. XXS has kind of had free reign of the game, so he's almost got that helm
Dire's middle tower
of the Overlord ready to go.
are scanning.
So we'll see where it ends up, as only a 1K lead for Aster. Nothing really standing out for me from Aster yet. I think EHOME have done a good job of keeping the game close, at least for Echo. Medusa, I guess, is also right there with Monet.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
So EHOME and 8. We'll see what else they can do here as once this Helm of the Overlord comes out for XXS, I can assume that he's going to be involved in these fights as well. But we'll see how long that ends up taking for him. It shouldn't be that long. Only 600 gold is needed. And things have been pretty quiet since that last fight. Not expecting them to exactly move again and again and again. They, of course, want that Blink Dagger on Zeal probably before they go again. Give them the Blink as well as the Arena, potentially go into that Roche and look to make that your game plan.
Radiant's top tower has been denied.
Arctic Burn, Winter's Curse. On the Zeal. They've got the hook to follow it up. Arena placed down, and there's the Familiar to stop the Dismember. Ori speared up Cold Embrace. That's only a level 1 Cold Embrace, so Ori, he is dead on his screen already. 5 heroes there ready for EHOME. Ori has died for the 3rd time. He has really not found himself much space to get away with anything in the last few fights. Not exactly working out. So, they smoke up again. Void Spirit and Grimstroke, that's the duo.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Looking to make the jump bottom. They need to take care of XXS. He's already purchased the Helm of the Overlord.
Top tower is under
Places that ward down, and there's the Astral Step. Aether Remnant, Ink Swell, easy kill. Soul Assumption for Planet. Finishes off XXS. And that gives them time to get the Blink on the Mars.
B-Cop.
Yes.
Dire's top tower is
This game is looking a lot like Aster might be running out of gas relatively soon, and Dusa might just be becoming the Stonewall that we know she can be. And Patch is also really going for the scale. Oh, no, he went back for the axe, okay. I see it blink queued up. Zeal. Can't get the vision on it.
Out of range. And now they found him. But what?
What was that blink?
All right. Interesting blink.
Go in instead of out, alright?
Sure.
I didn't expect that.
No, me either.
Classic. I know Helm of the Overlord is up though, so there is a timing to be had. They need to make sure they invade the triangle though. They're giving Dusa way too much farm and space right now. Should be
EHOME.
smoked up after clearing out the mid wave.
Yeah, EHOME have even up this net worth, so they're in a really good spot. Echo looking for the jump again with the Ink Swell. They've put this combo together a lot. Monet going into the BKB as he's finished this Echo Saber.
Yeah.
We'll see if he feels
Patch
the
just
need
needs
to
keep farming
dismantle.
his axe. Once that axe is up for Patch, it's like when the real strong timing is. Until then, Patch is not really a hero, unfortunately. He just walks in.
Grabs the hook, has the Dismember, and easy kill. So he's got 5 now on the Flesh Heap. Is this a
Nope.
alright number on the Flesh Heap at this point in the game? Arena. And XXS, he's
thought.
caught. Cold Embrace once again, but the Soul Assumption, the damage from Planet. XXS, he's going to get out of this, but he might just die right afterwards. Winter's Curse is in. They've locked down 2 of these heroes with it. Ori trying to get something done. Spear pushing him away. The damage on Azil, it's not enough just yet, but they finally finish him off. Bobica gets the credit. They look for the Dismember, but the Familiars are there to stop that lockdown immediately. It's not going to matter. Bobica's damage is enough to get a double kill. They take out Shiro in what looked to be EHOME having an advantage coming into the fight, and they lose the fight anyway.
Yeah, the shit tankiness coming out from Ori, even Beastmaster with a Cold Embrace, there's just a whole lot of tankiness right now, and not that much damage from the EHOME side. They really need Dusa to be amping up her damage, which won't really happen for like at least another 2 items. Maybe the Skadi hero reduction is going to be enough. But yeah, okay,
Astral
overstaying again.
Aether Remnant, and there's the damage. Soulbind, Phantom's Embrace on a 2. They start to walk away. They've taken the Phantom's Embrace off. They've got the Spear pushing Ori back, but the Primal Roar is set on Azil. They get the quick kill out onto the Mars. They've got the Dismember on Echo, but he goes into the Dissimulate. The hook doesn't land on anybody. The Aether Remnant locks up Monet, and a trade that benefits Aster as they only lost the Enchantress.
Yeah, it's gonna get a whole lot scarier in just a moment. 300 away from the axe on the patch, which is really when he becomes like a new hero. The power level is absolutely absurd. And I really kind of want them to just wait for that timing, because the fight should all be going their way once that's online. But I guess I still feel comfortable pushing that tower down.
Radiant's bottom
200 gold needed for the full Ags for Pudge. Spear thrown and stealing a couple CS. Slash stealing all the CS. Ori not getting that Ags when he wanted in that last little bit, but of course he can go to the creep wave over mid and finish these creeps. And there it is. There's the gold, and here comes the courier with that Ags. And we've seen Ori be in the middle of it all, so wouldn't be too shocked to see him just get right on involved and start outputting a lot of damage with this upgraded rod.
Yeah, you will definitely see how different it is. Like this axe upgrade is one of the strongest. Bobica again. Oh, nice force.
Oh, Force Staff avoiding the Aether Remnant. ZZQ able to run just barely as that hook almost hit. Certainly
It's a
almost
haste
hit.
for patch as well.
Did he?
Haste patch
Yeah,
with
he bothered it.
Aghanims.
That's scary.
If they are not bursting him down, they are going to lose that fight, and they're forcing a roach fight straight away. To know how strong they are.
Aegis to Monet, I would assume.
Oh my god, the damage.
And a smoke right
Woke up,
afterwards.
straight to the Dusa, let's go.
Illusions and Ori, he's popped that haste. Medusa, oh, what? The hook didn't hit, but it looked like it went right through Shiro. Can't go for the Dismember there with the Stone Gaze being activated, and they'll back away from the fight for now. Although Echo, he's always looking for an opening as long as he's got the Grimstroke nearby, and he does. Easy Q right behind him, ready to throw the Inkswell on him.
So looking at the triangle though, trying to
Inkswell.
staff forward just a little bit, but Dusa's getting a lot of space bot.
Hook lands.
Nice hook.
Catch the Visage. Phantom's Embrace. A Planet taking a lot of damage, and they'll get the kill. They'll find themselves an arena. Gold Embrace, Phantom's Embrace, and, well, they're being embraced by multiple aspects of this fight, and they'll get the kill. No worry, they'll take out Zeal, so they lose the Mars with the BKB popped here by Monet. 2 heroes down to the side of EHOME, but they do take out Ori. Hard to take out Monet twice, let alone, well, getting him once is proven to be an issue. That being said, Shiro just about has this Scotty, so the game's not lost by any means.
The Dusa is keeping up in farm with the Chaos Knight. I'm just a little bit worried that the lack of a farmed offlane in this game is gonna be a very big problem. If a hero can do it, it's probably Dusa, especially once you reach 25 with the multi-shot modifiers. But it's still a very long way till then, and a lot of things can go very wrong. Yeah, they gotta be careful also that they don't spend too much time just on the Pudge. Because like, sure, you kill the Pudge, but ultimately, while you're focusing him, his team is not just AFK, right? Like, they're gonna be making mincemeat out of your teammates as well. One Witch Bird gone.
Probably a second,
both.
honestly. And he doesn't have another resummon for 80 seconds. So that's another way to stop the dismember that's gone. Uh-oh. Ori? He's invis. Phantom's Erase comes out immediately, so they're gonna try and get out of this one.
I'm surprised he didn't bite the...
Shiro?
Oh, the Dusa's here.
Shiro?
Oh my god, I don't know.
He doesn't have a TP.
It's in the Korea. The Hawk is scouting him.
Oh, Shiro! That's the Scotty! Oh no, 4-second stun. Shiro caught in the trees all by himself. Nobody there.
I don't know what he was doing down there. That's somewhat tip-worthy. He had no business down there at all.
What are you doing? You know what I said?
It might be high ground. 50 seconds no Dusa? How do you stop the Beastmaster?
By the way, you know what I do love? I love that the Phantasm illusions also get the Trail of the Burning Dew. Obviously, otherwise... Illusions...
Wait, they're not committing? No, surely you're gonna commit, right? Yeah.
With 20 seconds. 20 seconds. Hook from Ori not gonna land, and with Medusa back in 10, they're out.
Very, very timid. I thought they were gonna go for that for sure. But they just wanna wait for the Ori BKB, I suppose. Aegis is also out of 40. Winter Wyvern.
They have a
Glimmer
smoke?
Cape.
Yeah, they do.
They do, yeah. And now it's time. How do you get back out of the map as EHOME is the big question. Now in Spooky Dookie City.
Never a fun place to be. They're gonna
Yeah,
come over with a
and
smoke of their
shoot
own, pick
up.
you with the Obs and Winter's Curse. It's on to 3. They've got the hook to follow it up. Familiars are there. They'll go into the Dissimulate. They'll look for the Stone Gaze. They land the Soul Bind and the Spear. It's all on Ori, the Cold Embrace. It's not looking like it's going to be enough to save the Pudge. Bobica in trouble too. But Ori, with the Spirit Vessel on him, burning him away, but it's not going to be enough to get the kill. Monet pulling back Shiro, but he's kind of by himself. XXS finally comes over. They've got the Aether Remnant, lands on a Monet. The Cold Embrace once again. The damage coming through on a ZZQ. It's not enough to get the kill just yet. The Ixol lands, and Monet ends up dead. Shiro survives. Echo is on a killing spree, and somehow, some way, I mean, Aster don't lose more, and EHOME get away with that.
Yeah, I also did not think that how that fight started. Like, he was supposed to be dead on Voice Spirit, but they didn't line it up perfectly, so he didn't get the raw off the hook, unfortunately. And if 1 or 2 more fights like that, suddenly the Dusa is a little bit too strong to handle. Like, you could see. Well, you can see CCQ die, first of all. Can you?
Yep.
Oh, the last of the creep, man.
They want
oh, yeah,
more.
Planet
Planet.
also dead.
Uh-oh.
And it's
But we gotta
birds
get him
gone
credit
again.
for that kill. He's got the dive bomber on the bird with the shard.
Well, after the patch BKB, that's really when the next level of pain will come to Team EHOME. Because uncancelable Dismember is going to be a very big problem for the Medusa. Of course, if Stone Gate is preemptively activated, that's not an issue, but they initiate on you, it's not the case.
So
And Enchantress went for a straight pipe, just some team tank ability. I like it though, I like it. They have a lot of spell damage on the Radiant.
Tower is under attack.
let's see. What does Ori have coming out for him? Because it feels like he hasn't really progressed on much recently, but he does have the BKB and the Paladin sword.
Two very nice pickups for the Pudge. Yeah, the BKB in particular is going to enable him to just pretty much without worry bite away at the Medusa.
Monet looking for the heart too. He's got the Mage Slayer, which will eventually build into the Bloodthorn when he wants it.
There's a BKB now also on Zeal, so they definitely have good chances of still fighting into Team Aster. And I've seen it before, like Team Liquid had like a 30k gold lead, but the Medusa team ended up beating them also. It's because late game Medusa is very, very scary for Pudge lineups. When the birds just pushing the tower by themselves.
Has fallen.
What is coming out for the Beastmaster? His BKB, so now triple BKBs up. The trifecta of power.
Radiant's
I assume he'll
Triforce.
also pick up the Boots of Bearing.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
At least that's what I assume will be next for him.
Yeah, and then probably AC after that. Just be like an aura bot.
If you're Aster, do you feel the need to make another move? Or are you just waiting for maybe a couple more seconds, get a pick off, go for Roche?
Yeah, I think Roche is the next goal. They take it so fast that if EHOME isn't there in like 10 seconds, it's just gone instantly. And then with the second Aegis, they're probably gonna try to finish the game. Because
Sage just
Dusa is
feels
not very
like-
strong. Yeah, okay, just finish the butterfly. Now she's quite a bit stronger.
Yeah. We'll see if they have a way through this. EHOME looking to potentially fight Shiro by himself. Pops the Manta. Familiars are there. BKB gets popped. He goes to the Stone Gaze, or he turns around. That's going to use a lot of that BKB duration, but they've got the stun thrown over onto Shiro. It's a 3-second stun. They've also got the illusion, thanks to the shard that's out on a Monet with the BKB being popped by Zeal. They'll go after this CK, but the damage coming out on Zeal, it's looking like he might die. Primal Roar out of the Medusa to make sure that they can control up Zeal, but they still don't have the damage. The Splinter Blast comes in from Picky to get the kill there on Zeal after taking out ZZQ. X success with the BKB. Soul Assumption once again. Ori getting low. There's
Medusa's
the
fighting.
Winter's Curse, but Medusa's fighting. Medusa's winning. They've got the buyback coming out from Ori. Shiro low. They need to get back in onto the Medusa. The Ink Swell's there, but they'll take out Bobica. And since Aster retreated, they can't finish off Shiro again. That is another fight where he survives on a sliver. Oh, pick you low, not dead.
Echo,
Void Spirit though,
no.
Echo in, and his death echoes to the rest of his team, and he's gone for 65 seconds. With Roche about to respawn, I guess, maybe 0-0-0
Maybe.
again. That's
Back
kind
up
of
now.
a bug.
Dusa though is about to be rejoin the fray. 20 seconds on Stone Gaze. Are they fast enough? They don't have a creep. It's gonna be close.
Void Spirit's gonna buy back, go to the tier 2. Shiro doesn't have Stone Gaze, but with the buyback, that'll scare them off Roche and give them time to get the Stone Gaze back up. BKBs are gonna start to get
Shiro-
back up too.
Shiro's just gonna hit it, huh? Okay. Now the timer is on Aster,
They've
but
got
of course
the
they have
Hawk,
Hawk
though.
vision.
They could wait with the
Yep.
Hawk, dive bomb Shiro, and make him think that he's got Roche. And that's
Okay,
exactly what they're going to do. The start with the
coming
dive
from
bomb, but on the
behind,
other side with the BKB pop by Ori, they've got themselves the arena as well as the spear that's down on Monet. Monet already sitting at about half health with the Stone Gaze coming in, but they've got the Winter's Curse. Monet ends up dead. He's got the buyback to try and get back into the fight. But if they win the fight on the side of EHOME, this could be problematic for Aster. It's already looking pretty bad for the side of Aster as they already got the kill on Monet, but he's forced to buy back. They get the kill on Azil as well as Echo. They both fought back already. Now it's just going to be Shiro without the mana. Ori getting over the Dismember. He's thrown onto the Medusa, and they'll have the damage to get the kill. They'll take him out. Ori with the triple kill. Aster with the team wipe, and Roche is the prize.
Yeah, that arcane rune for the punch, really the MVP of that fight, getting off like 3 dismembers. Super strong rune for him. And yeah, like that's the problem with Medusa, right? If you're all by yourself, you're just gonna get chain disabled and there's nothing you can really do about it. And our 13k lead, the writing seems to be on the wall. It was so close all the time. Like, it just always looked like Medusa was barely gonna do it, but not quite. Not quite.
Now with no buybacks available on 3 of these heroes, they are up in a dozen seconds on 2. And then you've got, well, now the buybacks on 3, so they do have second lives to work with, but that mid tower is gone, the mid set of racks to follow.
Yeah, and bot as well. Kind of just looks like game 1 again, where there might be a last anti-climactic team fight to end it out. I mean, I'm really impressed with Aster still. Like, their consistency is very strong this season around. And if they win this, it's gonna put them at 3-1. Same with RNG, right?
Yeah.
Who are also the 2 teams that really need all those points.
And one more win would almost, it would guarantee them probably a tiebreaker.
If you're at 4, it's a guaranteed tiebreaker, I believe, yeah.
Which is big.
Which I hope I'm gonna see LGD there, because if you get to those, if you win the regional league, you need an LGD there. You know, you gotta work for it. No freebies here.
We don't want freebies.
I like free stuff though.
Same.
Ah.
So 5-man smoke again from Aster. They've got the boots bearing ready to go. They've got Bobica leading the charge, who, by the way, has a Hurricane Pike and a pipe building into a Witchblade. So Bobica, looking like a core here, has more gold than the Mars.
Yeah, Zeal really didn't manage to find any sort of foothold in this game, unfortunately. 0-10. We spoke about that pretty much always, right? If Zeal's not enabled, EHOME is struggling.
We
Pretty
never
much the
really
story
thought
of the
Mars was
game.
like a Zeal hero anyway. I feel like
Yeah,
we've
I'm
seen
really
Zeal on
surprised I
Mars
didn't
a
put him
lot.
in Visage.
Yeah.
I don't understand the decision. His Enchantress is also outputting a crap ton of damage. With that quiver?
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
Hart finished off for Monet. That'll keep him even more survivable, and of course he's building into the Bloodthorn afterwards.
Casual 4.5k health. No biggie.
Of course.
Blink also picked up on Patch.
You know, let's see what exactly he's looking for.
Yeah, it's usually from here on out, it's like Shiva's God or...
Dive
Blink
Bomber
or
into the
Dive
hook.
Bomb.
BKB
There's no
with
cancel
his
for this.
Dismember. Now they've got the Arena. They pulled him back with the Reality Ray. If Shiro's in trouble, goes with the Ink Swell, but they've got the Winter's Curse. This is not going to be a good Stone Gaze. Shiro's not going to be able to walk away on this one, and they've got themselves the Reality Rift as well as the stun. They get the gun to Shiro. They're going to buy back on both him and Zeal. They need to try and hold on to this one, but, well, you've already used the buyback on those heroes, and they've got nothing else to throw. No Stone Gaze, no Arena.
And a DD to boot. I think the only thing that can save EHOME at this point is really overcommitment
Fountain Dive.
from Aster, yeah, something like that, or maybe like initiating right now
They'll go for Monet. They've got the spear, but again, you got to remember he's got the Aegis. Hook from behind. Familiar stops the dismember from Ori. The right click's coming out from Shiro. Shiro able to do this for free for the moment. They've got another familiar on Ori. Ori taking a little bit of damage from the right clicks, but the damage on a planet. Ori gets the kill there, but he is low. Primal Roar locks down Shiro. Monet from the other side gets the Reality Rift as well as the stun out on a ZZQ. They get the kill there on the Grimstroke. They've lost to the dismember now. Again, onto the Medusa. The spear comes in. They've already called GG, and Shiro hasn't died yet. But eventually he will fall, so will Zeal. Echo looking next, and it's a full team wipe as Aster only take the series 2-0.
Pretty one-sided game once more, unfortunately. I mean, there were some chances once more, just like in game 1, where it looked like EHOME can maybe get a grasp, get a foothold in this game. But Aster was just always, this entire series, just one step ahead. One level ahead of them in terms of gameplay, in terms of drafting too. They went all in on Shiro again. It's pretty hard to do that though when there's so many single target disables on one team.
Yeah, it never really worked out for EHOME. It felt like, again, they had opportunity, but then they really didn't get away with it at all, right?
Yeah, which is unfortunate. I feel like this game, also game 1, didn't really make EHOME justice, but that's what we always say, right? Just the inconsistencies the team has, it's been plaguing them for so long.
Mm-hmm. And it's the opposite for Aster.
Mm-hmm. Aster is really, really solid, especially this season. They've been very stable. I like their drafts a lot. They like rarely ever have a bad hero pick. They always have everything very well thought out. Like this Patch pick wasn't random. They picked it because it's really good into Visage and Void Spirit. Mm-hmm. You know? So everything makes sense. I like it a lot. Landom is very smart. The players are very good. Hopefully, they'll be able to get to the major and then, not bomb out as they like to do.
Against international opponents, it seems to go that way quite a bit.
Yeah. Their record against international opponents, gentlemen, might not be the healthiest overall, but their record in China still remains as good as it tends to, except against like maybe a PSG LGD. But this is not LGD. This was EHOME, and Team Aster was very handedly able to claim a 2-0 victory over the squad here. And like y'all are mentioning, it was a situation where, there were some signs of hope that we saw every now and then from EHOME, but by and large, Team Aster just had the read on the game. Black, you just spoke about it, right? The fact that they could pick one hero that counters 2 from the opposition team already puts you in a very good position. And one of the things that you often mention when we talk about drafting is that if you have the last pick in a game, you have to make 100% sure that that last pick is set up beautifully for you by picks 3 and 4. Wasn't really the case here for EHOME, was it? By the time they got to the Medusa pick, yes, Medusa for Shiro, we've seen it win games for them before, but it felt like the draft was practically already lost at that point, didn't it?
Certainly did. I mean, just overall, I just can't get behind the decision of putting Planet on the Visage. It just makes no sense to me. Zeal is really good on the hero. Why don't you just give Planet like some Earth Shaker or something instead, go back to the Visage Shaker lane. Then you have a way better setup for the Medusa as well. Your lanes overall are much better. The lane setup was also very strange. Like, Medusa Grimstroke together instead of Mars Grimstroke. Everything is very just wishy-washy. Like, I didn't quite see what they were going for. And against the wall that Aster really represents, like, you're gonna run into it over and over.
Yep, and they indeed ran into it like just constantly throughout this game. And because Black makes a good point over there, right? When you have a hero for a planet that he can make things happen on, usually that's the recipe for success for EHOME. Zeal on a good hero that has a good start to the game, and then Planet playing something like an Earthshaker, like a Rubik. Hell, in the second phase of this game, they banned his Earth Spirit against him. Given that they went so early on for this Visage pick, and given that they were underdogs in the situation, would they not have been better off just heads up picking something for Planet that they know we can excel on? Say, for example, there's a world where the first 2 is Mars Earth Spirit. Is that not better than what they actually went for with like an early Visage pick instead?
I think it's more about securing Zeal. If I'm gonna be honest, I feel like Planet's kind of been playing pretty weak this season.
Oof.
It sucks. Like, hey, because I have a lot of love for Planet. I think when he kind of dropped onto the scene and gave it his all in like that first bit with Phoenix Gaming, like I really thought he was gonna do something. And it wasn't just Phoenix Gaming; it was like EHOME Immortal as well, and Max and all that. So like I really thought when he finally got that chance, he was really gonna do something with it, and he did when he started out. But I feel like I just haven't felt his presence much. I don't know if it's just the like recency bias or only the games I've been seeing of him, but I haven't felt Planet, even on heroes he's good at, be the showstopper that I've seen him be. And it's a little concerning, honestly, because they need that. They need that extra oomph in their lineup. And they also need to secure Zeal a much better game because we've seen it and we said it. Games with Zeal playing well, boom. Games with Zeal not playing well, my hand goes off the screen. It's just not. It's light and day, night and day. It's really night and day. I don't know if you agree with that, Black, but I feel like Planet. I don't know if you think he's not been showing up as well, or not as much as my expectations are for him.
I mean, for me, it was always the best player, for sure.
Yeah, I agree.
And it goes hand in hand, really, right? If Zeal isn't enabled, that probably means Planet is having a bad game. And if Zeal is enabled, Planet is probably having a good game. And yeah, like Planet is usually the guy that sets up a lot for them, especially in the mid game. Like some of his Shaker and Rubik performances just single-handedly carried the team. But I agree, like something is not right, and if him and Seal don't show up, then the entire team just seems kind of lost in the mid game.
Yeah.
Let me try to run some defense for the boy. Let me try to run some defense for Planet here, right? Because if we think about the heroes that he was dominating on, right, and have very good performances on, it was heroes like Rubik, it was Maranas, it was Earthshakers, it was Phoenixes, it was Earth Spirit now and then. And I think there were like 3 or 4 Lion games that looked super solid from him. None of these heroes, with the sole exception of like, what else does he play that's in the meta right now? It's like Nyx Assassin that's in at the moment. For the most part, it does feel like his hero pool isn't actually very good right now and isn't in vogue in the meta. So is it a situation here, Black, where he himself has fallen off, or is it just the case that his comfort zone has fallen off? I mean, hell, the team that's just won right now in the form of Team Aster, there was a point of like a year or so where none of Baboka's heroes were in the meta, and he didn't look that good within that particular portion of time. So is the same situation maybe happening for Planet as well in this particular instance?
It certainly plays a big role in it, but you also have to see Boboka, he stepped out of his comfort zone, you know, he learned heroes like Enchantress. You can see how well he's playing his Enchantress now. The first couple of times his Enchantress looked so bad, but he's gotten better and better and better. Like, you cannot let a meta define you as a player. If that's the case, you can never be successful, unfortunately. Like, I don't want to sound rude or mean. I'm not saying that's the case for him necessarily. I'm just saying, like, if that's the case with a player, they're going to be gone faster than you would think.
And to add to that point, like, I don't really think Planet's heroes are exactly out of the meta. Rubik gets picked. Phoenix is always viable. We've seen Kaka show that Nyx can do it. Shadow Shaman's certainly one to look out for, and Lion gets picked. Like, those are instant hex, instant stun kind of guys. Like, I think that his heroes are in the meta. It just feels like he's underperforming at times, and I don't know. I want to see him evolve because I think individually each of these players are really skilled. If push came to shove and EHOME's not around anymore, or I'm not saying that's happening, I'm just speaking hypotheticals. Let's relax. But I think Planet finds another team, and I think he might be enabled by another squad. Like, I think one of the things that really plagues EHOME is the lack of veteran on this squad. Like, Echo/Blood has been around for a while. He's played a lot. He used to play with I want to say King Gaming Luminous, but you don't have that Kaka. You don't have the FY. You don't have the Faith Beyond Innocence. You don't have a veteran here to tell them what's what. And I think that if at the end of the day, and again, this is a big leap, I know. I'm not trying to shit on EHOME. If it were to come to an end, I think a lot of these players find their homes with another team. And a lot of these players get better with veterans. I think that they're just getting to the beginning of their pro scene, and there's a lot yet to be discovered with them. But I think right now they need to fix what's broken because they are lacking a lot of parts of their game.
You actually make a very good point about the veterans, right? Because the team that you mentioned there, RNG, we saw the immediate improvement once they added Kaka. And hell, when y'all had the interview earlier with Kaka, with X-Nova, excuse me, when talking about Kaka, he mentioned that, Kaka is not just in the team for his skill, but he has an outsized voice effectively in the team. He's talking to us about the draft, talking to us about the strategy, talking to us in the game itself. And it made an immediate impact, right? Not that the previous iterations of that squad weren't skilled, but like you say, having that veteran voice just took them to that next level. And speaking of that veteran voice, Black, a veteran in the Chinese scene, in the mid lane especially, has been Ori. And one thing I've been loving about this season, as much as we're giving Planet a little bit of flack for not performing at the same level, even if some of his heroes aren't as good, a lot of them still are. Ori has gone completely the opposite direction. He's actually not been playing a lot of the heroes that he's been traditionally good at. He's been experimenting a lot. Mid Earth Spirit, the second game that he's got now in the mid Pudge. And when they play this, Team Aster seems to be elevated to a new level. They're doing different things for him, different things for Baboka. And, the way this is going here, I'm having this feeling that Team Aster is looking even more threatening than what we're used to seeing them. And the most threatening part, Black, is we're not seeing them play a normal style that we've associated with the squad. They're changing it up almost every single series, aren't they?
That's exactly what makes them so scary, because they're evolving in a way where we have seen a similar development with LGD in the past, where they just shot to the next level, because they also recognize now Ori used to be, for lack of a better term, a pretty AFK farm mid. It doesn't really work that well in this meta. Now he's on really active heroes, and yeah, it works. It's working out perfectly for them, right? So much more space for Baboka, for XXS, for Monet. Like, he's enabling all of them just with his versatility now, which honestly, I thought he had for quite a long time, especially in the past. He showcased that many times, but then he just played like 2 or 3 heroes all the time. I was always wondering what happened there. So maybe Ori is finally spreading his wings again and feels free,
It definitely feels like that. And to go back to your point, Snare, about what X-Nova said, I think one of the things that really stuck with me from that interview was the fact that X-Nova, a guy who's been in here since 2015 playing pro, said he's still learning from Kaka. Like, that's massive. He's still learning from new things and new aspects to the game, even this late, I guess, because X-Nova's super young, I want to say. He's still learning this much to his game. And that goes back to my point about EHOME. I think these players, they just don't have that big veteran in game. It's Mikasa drafting for them on EHOME.
Yeah.
He's there, but also they don't have someone in game giving them that structure, giving them that leadership. And I really, really think that if they changed one guy out, or maybe these players go somewhere else with a big veteran, they get that much better. I seriously think these guys have so much more to give.
The potential is really there on the side of EHOME, but yet again, this is the 3rd season in a row where we've seen some of this potential be somewhat squandered, as they now go down 1-3 in the division. The first team to do so, joining Aster Areas, of course, or the first team from the previous competitors in the division. 1-3 is a very scary place to be, given that everybody else is either 3-1, with RNG now being matched by the side of Team Aster at the top of the table, right beneath them being some other squads at 2-1. But in this situation here, Black, if you're EHOME, we're speaking about them needing experience, them needing a veteran voice, them needing some way to be able to just find an idea of what to do in games, especially when things get sticky. Now that you're 1-3, yes, you might have already played against some of the tougher squads. You've played against the quote-unquote regional top 4. But this cannot be good for your team morale, right? To yet again go another season where you just keep losing game on game on game. What do you think they need to do to sort of solidify themselves and make sure they don't drop more games? And also, what do you think, as they are, absent the advice you're going to give now, what do you rate their chances for staying in Division 1 at this point?
Staying in Division 1, I mean, I rate Aster Areas beneath them, but then after that, it's... And Dandelion has been looking pretty shaky lately as well, so it's probably between them and Dandelion. They could definitely easily make it in 6th place and stay in the league still, but obviously that's not what any of them desire, right? They have higher aspirations, especially with past results, but how do you remedy the situation they have right now? As we said, they just don't have the know-how, simply because the players that do aren't with them. My personal favorite mix is usually a 3-2, Like you have 3 new players and 2 veterans, or 3 veterans and 2 new players, because you always bring in new ideas. When you're like younger and less experienced, you're like a blank sheet, basically, right? And then you mix that with the already solidified ideas that you have, and then something great happens, like almost most of the time. You just look at OG. You know, Seb, No Tail, they're kind of just shaping them how they want them to, and the team is a massive success already. It's because they have so much experience on the bank.
Yeah, I think that major was big for them to have Seb in game with them.
Yeah.
It was huge.
I mean, no disrespect to Misha, but I think Seb is even a step above, especially because they were so inexperienced, right?
And they won that tournament, and I think everybody would have been okay if they flunked out of that tournament. They won it, and they probably learned so much from having Seb in game. Like, that is unfair. That's literally unfair.
I mean, hell, the team themselves mentioned, I think No-Tail was talking about how he felt that the strength of the team coming into that tournament was probably only top 8, but they kept evolving game on game, and it required somebody like a Seb figure in the game itself to allow them to take actual lessons from the game, not just be like, well, let's play better. It's be like, let's do X, Y, and Z specifically better to improve. And, you know, that's obviously going to be the challenge EHOME needs to try and find a way past at the moment. But B-Corp, on the other side, for Team Aster, Black mentioned it. They are starting to do things more interestingly game on game. They're improving. They're reaching a different level than what we've seen them have beforehand in the current form that they are in. I think there is, on the scorecard, obviously they're 3-1 matched up with RNG. But with PSG LGD not looking as sharp as they used to, obviously they're now ramping up again, but they still haven't hit that full 100% level just yet. And with RNG still being a massive question mark depending on their opponents, the same being true of Extreme Gaming as well. Are we starting to think about Aster yet again as being able to ascend to being the regional China dominators? We don't know exactly how they're going to perform on LAN, but right now it's looking hella solid for them within the region, isn't it?
I mean, they always come top 3, right? Like, I don't think they're ever not up there in the question of being regional dominance. I think at this point in my head, Aster are going to make a major all the time. It's just a question of whether or not they can do it against international teams. Like, I don't think there's any question. The Aster's always had the number of China.
All right.
Well, get a long distance phone because international teams exist and you need to figure that shit out.
Hear me out, bro. Hear me out. This might be, I'm glad we're in Division 1 right now so that any fans of the team I'm going to mention might cut me a little bit of slack. But I always felt that Team Aster, one of the reasons they couldn't really perform on the bigger stages when they would qualify for these lands, I always felt that White Album was never a big match type of guy, where there'd be situations where you put this guy in a situation of do or die, and he would always die in those situations. Given that he has been replaced with Ori, who has, if one thing you can say about Ori is that he does not fold in those do or die moments, does the team just automatically not have a better prospect internationally with that roster change for themselves?
Of course, but like, that's not fair to White Album. It's the same thing I'm saying about EHOME. Like, they needed veterans. White Album, that was his first season, like with a good team. He came from
Fair
SAG, finally got to play with Aster, and like they took first in China and second in China in the 2 seasons they had. Like, White Album regionally, when push came to shove, was really good. But I mean, on SAG, I don't think he ever got international experience. I don't think he ever got it with Team QS. Like, I don't think like White Album ever had the experience internationally, and he got a lot to learn. He's playing well with Aster Aries. I think he's in a decent spot. Like, I don't know. I think White Album needed some time. Maybe it kind of sucks he played with a great team because he was playing and he's playing internationally, and it was rough. Like, it's unfortunate that it was so rough for him, but at the same time, I don't know. It wasn't awful. You made 2 majors, you got experience from it, and then went to TI and got kind of blasted there. I don't know. I think it was a little unfair to White Album, but I do think Ori's the better option. I'm not going to take that away from Ori. I think Ori's amazing. And watching this guy for too long to think anything other than that.
Yeah. Ori's been around the block. We've been talking a lot about experience and the necessity of being in not just an experienced team, but a winning experienced team. And Ori certainly has that. And we are seeing him evolve his playstyle, which is wonderful to watch. With that, though, Aster now taking a 2-0 win over the side of EHOME, elevating themselves to the top of the leaderboard against the side of RNG. Both of them are 3-1. Both of them, though, still have some of the more difficult games to come. And EHOME also still has a long road to go before it's concluded whether or not they're going to be eliminated or if they can still, yet again, for a third season in a row, fight for their place inside Division 1 and remain in the top flight of Chinese Dota competition. With that, though, we're going to be closing it out for the day. Once more, just to remind everybody that please send your love and your shout outs to the main cast production crew, because right now they are experiencing a very fraught moment in time. There is some danger present in Ukraine at the moment for very obvious reasons. So we hope that they remain safe and that they return to us soon and as soundly as humanly possible. Black, B-Cop, thank you, gentlemen, for your efforts this evening. Everybody, make sure to go ahead and follow B-Cop and Black on their socials right underneath their beautiful faces right now. You can see them. Also, make sure to follow the Perfect World Esports channel on Twitter so that you are aware of every future game that happens. And of course, you are aware of how the DPC will pan out and unfold over the next coming weeks. Black, I'll give you the final word today, and I'm going to make it an interesting word for you. Where does Aster end, not just in the tournament, but in the major? If the Chinese teams can attend the major, where would Aster place right now if the tournament happened tomorrow?
2 in China and top 4 at the major.
Ooh, top 4 at the major. All right.
Because that's what they somewhat need to get to TI.
I think the calculation, that would be the calculation if they get second. But honestly, I'll end this one with a spicy one. I think Aster will qualify for TI directly by ending first in the regional division. So let's see how it all unpans and how it all folds out.
Regional bias right there. Sorry.
Regional bias, super strong. I love it. Myself, Snare, with B-Cop and Black signing out. We will see y'all tomorrow to continue this beautiful DPC Dota. This is the Chinese region signing out. Until then, we love y'all and see you in the future.